What's up, everybody, and welcome to the show. This podcast episode is brought to you by IBOW Training. As you know, we talk about training pretty frequently here on the show, and the IBOW has some amazing people that they work with in their network. Are you a designer, rapper, sign maker, or beyond? If you want to invest in your creativity for the future, IBOW Training is the right choice. IBOW is the nation's first training organization to offer training in all aspects of the rap industry, from quoting, design, printing, production, and installation. They offer a variety of training options such as training at your shop, group training classes nationwide, and even private design and print profile training through remote login. With trainers nationwide, IBOW offers support day and night by phone, and many of their trainers are within a day's reach for emergencies. IBOW is growing and will continue to support the industry in a positive manner. For more information, please visit ibowtraining.com. We are also brought to you by We Print Wraps. We Print Wraps is the industry's #1 source for wholesale printed wraps. How easy is it to order wraps? Well, all you have to do is sell the job. Go to weprinwraps.com, choose your desired film for the installation, upload your design, and if you're not a designer, no problem. They can design one for you and get your wraps delivered right to your door. They offer free nationwide shipping all across the U.S. and Canada on all orders over $500. And for exclusive listeners of the All Wrapped Up podcast, you can get 5% promo code when you type in the word All Wrapped Up at checkout to save on your next order today. Less risk, no overhead, wholesale printing. See why the industry pros love them. To get more information, visit weprinwraps.com. Oh, do we have a treat for you in this episode? Today's guest was an aviation mechanic in the Army. He's now worked up the ranks in his career and works full-time at a large corporation. His love for cars and customization has led him to vehicle wraps now. Please give it up for the great and powerful Kris Villafane. What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to All Wrapped Up Podcast. We'll be interviewing industry-leading rap companies to share tips, tricks, stories, and more. Kris, what's going on, brother?
What's up, man?
Not much. Not much. Yourself?
Good. Good. Had a long day at work.
Long day at work? You're 9 to 5?
Yeah. Yeah, well, 9 to 5, I wish sometimes. I work from 5 a.m. in the morning till 3:30 p.m., 10 hours.
Damn. That's a long day. What time do you go to bed at night?
See, and then that's part of my problem. I probably should be getting to sleep a lot earlier. I wake up at 3:45, so.
Damn. What time?
Yeah, rich people want their airplanes built, so.
Yeah, dude, we'll definitely get into that. What I was gonna say, what's your game plan to getting to bed at night? You go to bed at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock?
Shoot, last night I was in bed by like 11. So I only got like 4.5 hours of sleep.
Damn. And you got to function for 10 hours.
Yeah, yeah. Usually, coffee gets me through the day. I quit energy drinks.
I was gonna say some Red Bull or something. Get you those wings.
Yeah, I used to be big on full throttle.
Full throttles. And, holy shit.
Yeah, I used to be big on those. I had to stop, man, for health issues. I ended up I wasn't hospitalized or nothing like that, but I went to the doctor for just a regular checkup, and he was like, "Dude, your blood pressure is like really, really, really high." So he was asking about my diet and my eating habits, and he was like, "How much energy drinks do you drink?" And I was like, "I drink one a day." And he was like, "That energy drinks raise your blood pressure, and heart problems run in my family."
Oh, so that's not good.
Yeah, it's like, you know, like you always say, people always say, "I want to be like my dad, he's a hard worker," and all of a sudden, my dad was a super hard worker his whole life, and I want to be like my dad in that aspect. But he has heart problems, and I don't want to be like that. And he doesn't want me to be like that either. So he heart found me to take my blood pressure medication every day, because he doesn't want me to go through what he went through.
Yeah, those were tough times back then. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They weren't. Yeah. We really didn't have the technology that we have now to check up on that and have medicine that you can take to lower that. How many? So getting off the energy drinks, how many coffees do you have in substitution of that?
I don't have to be honest. I don't have much. I have one in the morning, at a set time every day, and the doctor said that's perfectly healthy. I mean, that's normal.
Wow.
There's nothing wrong with having. Yeah, and yesterday was a 2-cup day. I had a cup in the afternoon, but yeah, I mean, if it's busy, as long as I'm up and about and I'm doing something, I can stay awake. But sometimes, at my job, I sit at a computer a lot. I have multiple monitors. I have different things going on, spreadsheets, projects, 3D models, and just sitting there staring at all that stuff all day wears on you.
Oh, I believe it. It probably takes more work sitting down in front of a computer. It's more draining to a person sitting down at a computer.
The biggest difference, because I've been a mechanic my whole life.
Yeah.
As an aerospace mechanic my entire adult career. I've been in aviation now for almost 20 years, 19 years.
Wow.
And most of it was a mechanic. So, working on helicopters, working on airplanes, and that takes a toll on your body over time, over the years, depending on the stuff you're doing.
Yeah. But
the computer stuff or the administrative, what tends to happen is, it's more mentally stressful. A lot more mentally stressful because I have to I reported to some directors yesterday. They want me to put together an abstract to report to some big wigs in August. So it's just, we have to do projects. We have to do things to save the company money. So it's just a lot more pressure in mentally, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, mental health is just as more, that you have to keep the upkeep on that than physical health. I mean, if your mind ain't there, your body ain't there. You know what I mean? It's not the other way around.
The good thing is I've been able to translate a lot of my career into the rap.
Yeah. The focus, the mental,
No, more that, yeah, because you got to have a high level of
patience.
Patience, attention to detail,
yeah.
Especially when building airplanes. When it comes to aerospace, like people's lives depend on your work.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the lives of the people on the plane and the pilots relies on the quality of your work.
Wow.
So that translates to the rap stuff. I mean, people's lives aren't at stake over it, but I mean, like, another thing too is working in aerospace manufacturing. There's a lot of things that go into that, and I know some of the industry leaders that are going to be listening to this at some point, they'll understand, talking about things like success and workflow optimization, a lot of stuff that Justin Tate talks about.
Right.
Optimizing the workflow, being efficient, all that stuff we live by in manufacturing.
Wow. That's a lot of work. I would have to say.
And then I also try my best to, when it comes to cars, I'm really big into cars, obviously. I try to incorporate engineering philosophies into the stuff I do with the cars. And what I mean by that is we have this thing called the 3 F's in engineering. It's called form, fit, and function.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look good? Does it fit correctly? And does it work?
I like that.
And I try to apply that to the modifications I do to my car, to the wraps as far as quality and corners and all that other stuff. So,
wow,
there's a lot of aspects of what I do for a living, or for my main career, that translates to the wraps.
I mean, a lot of the guests and people I've networked with, that come from a different background of a different industry and breaking into this industry. And back then they've taken a lot of what they've learned, throughout the years in a completely different trade or industry or career path and have applied it to their rap business now. I mean, business is business at the end of the day. And, installing a wrap or building planes, I mean, it all takes meticulous work and someone who's focused at their craft to be 100%, Yeah. That's just, I could never kind of be in your shoes with building planes or being a plane mechanic. That's gotta be stress. How many years were you a mechanic, and what were you, What were you doing mostly?
I was a mechanic for 13 years out of the 19. I just hit my 5 years as an engineer, but I'm about to hit it. Well, I started in the military, like a lot of people. So I worked on Apache helicopters.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was in the Army, worked on Apaches, I worked overseas. I served in OIF 3 after September 11.
Mm-hmm.
Went to Korea a couple of times. I retired. I was medically retired out of Fort Bragg, North Carolina. And then I started contracting in aviation immediately. That's what brought me to Georgia. I was contracting on the Hunter Army Airfield and just doing modifications to Apaches. I was more so, we call it avionics. So I run the wires. I do all the electrical on the Apaches. I did all the weapons, loaded the missiles, repaired the systems, all that stuff.
Wow.
And then, when I contracted overseas in Iraq as a civilian, I contracted for the Kuwaiti Air Force. That was my last job before coming to where I am now. I was a contractor for the Kuwaiti Air Force, their government, basically working on their Apaches. Yeah, the Kuwaitis, they outsource everything. Every aspect of their lives is outsourced except their public and government services. So like when you go over there, every restaurant is of different, nationalities. All the people that work there are in different nationalities, like people from Africa, Bangladesh, Philippines. Wow. The expats, which was like the Americans and the Canadians, they do the more high skill stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep. So that's, stuff like the aviation stuff or whatever other stuff they're contracting these people for.
Wow.
So then when I left there, I came to where I am now. And I started as a mechanic on G650 airplanes as a senior avionics tech, and then I moved into the engineering position.
Good for you, man. That's incredible. And thank you for your service, man. Not a lot of people.
Don't thank me. Thank you, recruiter. Well, I'm giving away my age. I'm giving away my age now. I say that to people. They didn't even know what that means. They're like, what? It's an old commercial, man, from like the 80s.
Yeah. That's how they got us in. You know what I mean? It's come serve your country. It's crazy. It's not a lot of people can do that. You know what I mean? I have a big respect for people who put themselves at risk knowing what the outcome could be and still go out there and, put themselves in danger at the end of the day.
I mean, you'll never, I don't know. We don't put too much thought into it. A lot of people tend not to talk about it depending on personal experiences.
Right.
I just viewed it as another job, man. Just there. But I did serving your country is it's an honor. It's a privilege. I don't know, but I didn't look at it like, cause people would think, oh, thank you for your service. When I first joined and people would say that, it was like mind boggling. So like, why would anybody say that? And, I grew a deeper understanding for it later. Obviously, I was young, I was 19 when I joined the Army. I didn't know shit at the time. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And, but now I look at it and, I say the same thing too to people now. So, this is just a deeper understanding over it, but to the people that are doing it, it's just another job. That's how I don't know if it's a coping mechanism or it just helps, but we always view it as just another day at the office.
Yeah. No matter where you're at.
The office can be, anywhere in the world.
Right. Which is amazing at the end of the day too. I mean, did you ever think you'd go see Kuwait for so many years? Do you ever go see, go overseas and just spend years or months there at a time? Or was it that kind of like a career path where you just thought, hey, I'm just going to get into the military and see what happens? Or
yeah, when I joined, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. All I know was I had a really good friend. We were growing up together, and his mom convinced him to join. And he came back. He got stationed in Hawaii. And he was like, man, you need to join. It's so much fun. It's awesome. And I wasn't doing nothing. I was a high school dropout. I didn't even have my GED or nothing. So I was like, you know what? I may as well, fuck it.
Yeah.
So I went to recruiting station. They was like, you got to get your GED. I was like, all right. So, I heard of some program where you went to, you stood in line at some school in Manhattan. It's literally just a number now because my current employer had to verify my quote unquote education.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to call the New York State Board of Education. It ended up being a file. It was literally a number in a file somewhere, the school that I went to. So it's like, it's not even a school no more, but I stood in line. I took the test the day of and I passed.
Wow.
11 days later, I was in basic training at Fort Benning, Georgia.
11 days later. Waste no time.
Yeah.
Sign on the dotted line and let's go.
Yeah. I never saw him again though.
Wow.
My best friend. Yeah, because we went in different career paths, but he was like field artillery. And then, I scored really high in the ASVAB. So the guy was like, look, like you have a lot of choices. Like, what are you into? So I was like, well, I like fixing things. And he was like, oh, we got these heavy wheel mechanics. And then he was like, oh, we got aviation. I was like, oh, what's that? And he was like, you get to work on helicopters. And I was like, well, how long's the school? So he was like, well, your basic is 2 months and your AIT, your advanced individual training, is 9 months.
Wow.
I was like, man, I don't know if I want to be getting yelled at drill sergeants for a year. And I'll never forget these words. You know, almost 19 years ago, he said, you know, 9 months is a drop in the bucket for the rest of your career.
Right. Makes sense now, right?
Yeah. I've been in aviation ever since.
Ever since, almost 20 years later. And it's been a great career path. I'm sure, you know, you've got a great secure career, you know, great benefits at the end of the day, and you put a lot of time and effort, and it's worth something now. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
Gotten out of getting your hands dirty to now, you know, being able to sit in an office, you know, do your thing and not have to, you know, get dirty anymore, really.
I dress, it's corporate style environment, so I dress business casual. I like to dress really nice and, you know, do my stuff, do my meetings, do my presentations, do my projects, process improvements, all the stuff that goes into the job. Yeah.
Do you like it more where the business casual, or do you like the wraps more?
Well, both.
Both. You get to play you get to play Superman a little bit, Clark Kent during the day, and then Superman at night.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I never thought of it like that, but the one thing this company is massive, and it's one. I don't know, man. It's one of those things where if you work for this company, like people look at you differently. Like there's like a level of I don't know if I want to say respect or you know, it's just you say, oh, you work for so-and-so. Oh, okay. People, for one, you get some people that automatically think you got money. Like, oh, you got that, you know, money. I work for a company called Gulfstream Aerospace. So just, they got that Gulfstream money. It's like, well, we're not rich. Like, calm down, dude.
Yeah, right? I don't get the checks like that, man. I just work there.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I mean, people like that, you know what I mean? They
yeah, but also too, when you go into like establishments and you know, once they see that who your employer is, they treat you a lot different. They treat you better.
Treat you better.
Anybody can attest to. Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't want to say better like they mistreat people, but like let's just say it's easier to buy a car when they know the salespeople treat you a little bit different when you're buying a car when they know you work for Gulfstream versus you're working for like Home Depot or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what
but
you're
then
saying.
Again, everybody's situation is different. You could work at McDonald's and have a bunch of money saved up to buy a car cash for. You know, who knows? I don't know.
Right. But, dude, I'll tell you a quick story, kind of side note. When I was in Florida, many moons ago, I had a buddy of mine that was really, like, he had a couple businesses up here in Boston and he had a couple nice cars down in Florida. So I was like, shit, I'm coming down. I'm getting on a cruise. I'll come down, stay with you for a couple of days before I go out on the boat. And his building was right in front of the Miami Heat Arena, because that's where like the boats come in and dock and you go out from there. So I was like, cool, win-win. So I get there. You know, I had my hotel booked. We were kind of like back and forth from it. So I get there, I'm in my taxi and I'm grabbing my bags out of the taxi and bringing them up. Well, the next day I go meet up with my buddy for dinner and, catch up, all that stuff. He throws me these keys to his Mercedes. It was like I don't know if it was a convertible. I forget which model it was. It was like an AMG 2-door convertible. I was like, dude, you sure? He's like, yeah, just take it, bring it back before you go on the cruise. You don't have to pay for a whip. I was like, all right, cool, man. Appreciate it. Go fill up gas. I go back through kind of like the little portal at the hotel, right? Go to valet it so they can park it for me. Dude, I'm literally like off the taxi that morning and the guy doesn't give a shit. You know what I mean? I pull up with that Mercedes with the top down, music blaring. I got my cut off sleeves, tattoos showing. The guy legit looks at my ex-wife and goes, is he kind of like a rock star or is he playing a band? Dude, like totally flipped. Took the bags of shit that I bought out of the back seat. Like not even out of the trunk, out of the back seat. He goes, oh, where's your room, sir? We'll have them shipped up to your room. You don't have to worry about it. And I'm like, I'm walking and I'm like, dude, like this dude just saw me this morning, get out of my taxi, saw me clear as day. It's the same guy, same shift. And then all of a sudden he's like kind of kissing my ass because I pull up in a Mercedes. Like, it's kind of funny how people treat people with like certain things in that way. And I hate that. I hate when people judge a book by its cover because you don't know what that person's been through. You don't know what type of shit that person's been and where they're going. And it's like, it drives me nuts. And it's all for money. Like, why? Why do they do that?
Yeah.
I hate that, man. I never looked at things really the same because I never experienced something like that ever in my life, really, to be honest.
Yeah.
As many years ago that was, I mean, I never experienced someone treating me better because of the type of car I pulled up with, as opposed to me pulling up with my, my Uber or whatever the case was that I got dropped off at the place for.
Yeah, I experienced that once with a Maserati I wrapped a couple years ago, and the owner let me take it downtown for a photo shoot.
Mm-hmm.
It's the MC Sport that's on my page, and
Yeah.
the owner was real cool. He said, "Yeah, go ahead, you're cool. Took it down, and man, the looks you get, people just
It's a mixed bag, ain't it?
Yeah,
it's like
crazy.
That dude's an asshole because he sees like a younger guy driving like a nice car. It's like, oh, that guy must be a dick. It's like, dude, really? Come on.
Yeah, or daddy's money or whatever.
Don't you love that shit, man?
Girls look at you a little bit different.
Right? That too. I mean, a guy would do it too to a girl. You see a girl driving a nice car, you're like, oh, all right. What does she do for a living? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It goes
one of my
both ways.
customers, one of my customers is a GTR owner, the Tiffany one.
Mm-hmm.
She owns a local business, killing it. And it's the same thing with her.
Yeah. Worked hard to get that GTR,
Yeah. She busts her ass, man. And the thing about her too is not only is she owns the business, she has a cool car. She's kind of into cars, but she's hooking it up a little bit. She got, cool wheels and air suspension and everything. She's also, she's like building this badass house right now. It's crazy. And on top of that, she's pretty effective.
See? That's hustling.
She's and she's getting it.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure the people that don't know her look at her like, what's that? Is that her husband's car? Or like, you know what I mean?
Right. Misconception. But, they get to know somebody and,
Oh yeah, she's down to earth as shit.
Yeah.
Like when you go into her shop, she's just like how me and you were talking. She's real cool.
Yeah. See, I love people like that because they've been through that struggle. They've been through that grind. They've been, that weeks that they don't get paid. You can't teach that shit. Like, at the end of the day, you go to start a business, you're not guaranteed a business career or being a business owner for, however long you want to be it, because you don't really make money your first 5 years. I mean, as cliche as that might be, when people always say you don't make money for the first 5 years, it's true. You really don't. You have to, the money you get, you have to reinvest all of it in order to, flourish this flower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been doing it. I started with a squeegee and a heat gun, a freaking Walmart heat gun and a squeegee and a blade.
Yeah.
And I've recently just bought a lift. I'm gonna buy a new toolbox. I got all different types of heaters. I got a pot steamer. I got IR heaters. Yeah.
That's crazy.
You gotta reinvest in that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
I keep black is always is popular, it's timeless. So I keep matte satin and gloss on hand at all times.
Mm-hmm.
That costs.
For those roofs, those hoods, those trunks.
Yep.
Quick, easy accents.
Them charger owners, man, they love them some satin hoods.
Oh yeah, dude.
Roofs.
Oh yeah, the quick, easy money, dude. If I could wrap hoods and roofs all day long, line them up.
Man, I say that all the time, especially with like Camaros where there's like no corners on their hoods, and wrap those in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, easy. You cut the couple vents, a little hood scoop or something.
Yep.
Boom, boom, done. Those are quick money makers for us, and and at the end of the day, can anybody wrap a hood? Maybe, but hoods are probably the easiest thing to do. Whether you take 2 hours to wrap it or whether you take 30 minutes, you watch a couple videos, you get the concept right, and boom, you DIYing it in fucking 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You're done.
Videos is I was initially self-taught. I went to YouTube like everybody else.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
man,
you get it.
You're probably gonna
you
probably laugh.
Oh, dude.
No, well, I mean, okay. So let me tell you something I noticed when I first started rapping. Obviously we have nowhere to go late, right? I didn't know about the Rap Institute.
Right.
Hell, I found out about it through YouTube.
Through YouTube, you found out.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So you're scouring YouTube looking for how to is a keyword, right?
Right.
That may as well be clickbait nowadays.
Right.
And but you go on the how tos, and I'm like, all right, how to wrap a roof, how to wrap a hood, and one thing I noticed that, and this is where I warn people about YouTube. Or YouTube University or whatever people like to call it, but you have to be careful of who you're watching, because one thing I noticed was every different channel I watched, everybody was doing it different.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, damn, like what's the right way? Or like you see a guy doing a door and he's like, all right, he peels half the paper down, folds it up. All right, is that the right way? Is that good? What if you get trash on the adhesives?
Right.
Do
you do a full peel?
I'm not saying that
I'm
not saying that the guys who do that is wrong. I'm just saying I didn't know. So you probably laugh when I tell you this, or people will laugh at me. I don't care. It is what it is. But I learned rapping initially to where I finally had the confidence to do my first rap on my car was watching Yanamize videos.
Yanamize, wow.
Yeah, because I watched the movements and everything his two lead installers did. I was watching how they pulled the material.
Yep.
How they did the squeaky throat. How they used the blade. Because this dude's been on YouTube filming this stuff for years now, so he has tons of content. And I'm not advocating for, go watch Yanamize videos and you'll be a fucking pro rapper. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I wanted to, I didn't want to watch some kid in his garage, even though I'm that person in my garage too. But I mean, I didn't want to watch someone that didn't know what they were doing.
Right.
And then they'll do the video like, yeah, look, if he's like, I saw one video, kid was outside, wind was blowing, and when he did, was like, yeah, I'm done. It looks good. You can see the trash, and I was like, it really look good.
Right.
I mean, it's cool. So that's how that. Yeah, I finally had the confidence thing. I was like, I think I'm ready, and I got my first roll. Guess what brand it was?
I want to say 3M, but maybe Oracal.
It was Oracal.
Just not knowing, yeah.
Yep, my first wrap was Oracal Gloss Aubergine Bro.
Holy shit. How was that experience for you?
So I bought a whole roll and I ended up scrapping 15 feet right off rip. So
oh shit.
Yeah, let me tell you how I did my bumper. I took my bumper off the car.
You started
and I took
on the bumper?
No. I didn't start on the bumper.
Oh, Jesus
but when
Christ.
I'm fast forwarding to where I started scratching the
All right.
So I took the bumper off and I took it upstairs into my house and set it on the dining room table and tried to wrap with 10 feet of material like that. It just wasn't working.
Oh, I believe it.
At all. Yeah. So that was scrapped. So I was like, all right, well, I'll move on. And I moved on to the trunk. Didn't know how to wrap a trunk. That was scrapped. And then I tried the rear bumper and that was scrapped. So both bumpers in the trunk were just all gone. I had to order like another 15 feet. Damn. And then I got it. What'd you do different? I mounted it on the car, put it back on the car. I was like, I need something cause right away I was like, damn, I can't fold this down. Like this stuff is sticky and I need to pull it to manipulate it and I have nothing to brace the piece. So I was like, I need to just put it back on the car. And that's what I did. So what ended up happening was the day I got done wrapping, I was like, there's a car show. Let's go to it. So we went to the car show and people saw the car I was posting pictures, partners pictures and stuff. People saw it for the first time. They were like mind blown, like, whoa. And that's what set it off. So yeah. And, people were taking pictures because I was already kind of like in the car scene, local car shows and stuff.
Right.
So when I bought this new this 2016 Maxima and I wrapped it and, everybody was mind blown, right? So a buddy of mine was like, hey, I'll pay you to do my car. And I was like, dude, I'm not doing this. You gotta be kidding me. It took me 3 weeks. It was a pain in the ass. Yeah. After work, chipping away one panel here and whatever. So I was like, dude, I'm not doing this. You're nuts. So what ended up happening was, people kept asking. There was, I started thinking, like, man, there's kind of a demand for it. I'm getting a lot of requests. So I was like, all right, I don't want to go into this. I don't want to take people's money and give them a shitty product. So what I did was I got on the internet and, doing Google searches for another local shop that I can take the car to and be like, look, give me the rundown. Is it shit? Is it quality? Like, what do you think? Don't hold nothing back. And tell me what's what. So, and another thing too, searching the internet, I came across Paint is Dead.
Right.
And, I went on their website and I saw one of the cars that inspired me. I was mind blown by the quality of work, but it was Joffrey's, satin red chrome embossed Dragon GTR.
Yes.
It was like 4 layers. Man, I was just so blown away by that. And I was like, man, you can do that with vinyl? Holy shit.
Taking your mind to like a new direction now. You're like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, man. I was just mind blown. So I called 201 Wrap. They were the closest shop near me in Jacksonville. And I said, hey, I wanted to put a Paint is Dead sticker. I was so inspired. And then that's when I found out that it was a brand. And they was just like, well, we just don't allow that. Like they were like, well, tell you what, bring the car down when you're done wrapping it. We'll go over, we'll take a look. And if I feel it's good enough quality, I'll give you a sticker. I was like, oh, bet, cool. So that's what we did. I got done wrapping the car. I took it down on the way to another car show. Cause what happened was when I started posting pictures of the car on social media, it got Boston's attention because I had Boston wheels on my car. So it was like, hey, why don't you come down to Simply Clean and you can be a booth car?
Nice.
So there was that. Yeah.
Talk about
that
the
was Simply Clean.
opportunities.
Yeah. So that was Simply Clean 7. So I bring the car on the way to Simply Clean. I stop off at 201 and Austin came out. I met Austin Smith for the first time. Really cool dude. He went over with the car and it wasn't, I told him, I said, look, just lay it on me. I don't care if you tell me it looks like shit. And he said, no, it's good for a first wrap. And, he offered me a job.
Wow.
Like right on the spot. He's like, do you want to come work for me? And I was just like, well, I have a good job. You know, I said, the reason why is like, I got people asking me to do wraps. I figured maybe I could do it on the side.
Mm.
And he was like, well, and he was honest with me. He was like, it's good for your first wrap. It's really good. You need work. He said, I would advise you, and he pointed out a couple things to work on. He was like, I would advise you to get a couple more wraps under your belt, and you should be good. I was like, sweet, thanks. Really appreciate it.
Nice.
And so what I did was I wrapped my dad's car next, and then I wrapped my brother's car as practice. And then I had my first, a buddy of mine, I wrapped his Maxima, and that was my first paying person. I charged him. He bought the roll of film, and I charged him $1,000 to put it on.
Just for,
and he's happy with it.
Just to get that repetition of getting another one underneath your belt. Yeah. I mean, we all do it as startups. You know, you pay for the material and you get a little bit of labor. Just cover me. You know what I mean? And
those pictures are still on Instagram. If you go on Instagram and scroll way down in the bottom, when I first started doing it, you'll see a picture of my Maxima wrapped in the aubergine bronze with another Maxima wrapped in the Oracal, lavender, the color shift. I forget the name of it. Or it's like blue and purple.
Is it Avery? Avery?
Oracal.
Oracal? I don't know. I'm not, and this is me being probably, whatever, but I don't use Oracal. I've never installed Oracal, wrap film color change. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good.
It's a little aggressive, right?
I consider it among the best.
Hey man, you know what? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter which brand you use, as long as you're putting out good work. But at the same time, dude, like you come off the gate wrapping with probably one of the hardest adhesives to apply onto a vehicle.
That's what Austin explained to me. Yeah, Austin explained that. He was like, that's the difficult film to be starting out with.
But that's okay. You learned the hard way of doing it, and you learned on the hardest material to apply. And at the end of the day, that meticulousness that you went through of doing each panel and the way you had to do the panel, at the end of the day, that's the hardest way you're going to install it, but that's the best way to learn. You're learning. Yeah. Like even
and my first wrap wasn't perfect by any means.
It never is, dude. None of ours are. We all learned trial by fire, dude. Like, yeah, don't push the film all the way in. That's just not how it works. It's gonna pop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It like
for me, it was discoloration. It took me quite a while to learn about stretching the film.
Pre-stretch.
All right. No, but I don't want to say stretching. I want to say conforming. To conform the film without discoloration.
Right. You always do little tests. You know, can you get the material to go in there? Will it work? Will it pop? Whatever. Do we have to put
whenever I start dealing with a new material for the first time, the first thing I do is I cut a piece off, a big enough piece to manipulate, and I start pulling it. I put as much heat on it until it burns so I can know the limits. I stretch the crap out of it so I can see at what point does it start discoloring. I test the repositionability of it, tackiness. I test all that stuff before I go live. And then I'll go live on the easy panel. I don't want to say out of order. I guess there's no right or wrong way to do it, but I kind of try to have optimum flow. So I'll start with the top panels. But if I'm using a new film I'm completely unfamiliar with, I'll start with something like a Victor or a Door.
It's normal.
So just so I can get so I can become familiar. And then if I end up scrapping that, I'd rather scrap that small piece than like going live for the first time on a bumper.
A full bumper.
Scrapping 10 feet. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a big nut to, especially when you're making money off of that particular job. That's a big nut just to throw away. It could be could be a little bit of your profit, cutting in there, but we all do it.
Oh yeah, I can't stand scrapping the panel. Oh my God.
Oh,
It's just like you're throwing away $50.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, pull it and just throw it in the trash. There goes $50.
Yeah, dude, crazy. Now on your, going back to your car, did you ever get that, pain is dead sticker? Did he give it to you?
Yes, he did.
He did.
Yep. And I never installed it. I have it in my garage to this day.
A little memento. You know what I mean? Just to
That's
sit
like
back.
a little personal achievement for me, for him to offer me a job on the spot. And then on top of that here, he gave me a t-shirt, a sticker, and he gave me like some swag. It was really cool.
Nice. Now, going back, what year was that?
It was 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Wow. 2016?
Yeah, 2016.
Wow. Fresh into the industry prior, you didn't have to go through all that, the mishaps of working with the material at its infancy, so to say.
Yeah, I was talking to my dad about that the other day, and I was just like, man, 'cause I was actually listening to one of your podcasts, and like I forgot who it was, and he was saying he's been doing this, for like all these years, and I was like, man, they didn't have the adhesive technology they have today. That had to have been rough.
Yeah.
I say this all the time to people, and it's kind of like a passive aggressive shit talk comment, but I'll be like, anybody can wrap a door. Because and it's kind of true, because the adhesive technology nowadays, anybody really can wrap a door without bubbles. I mean, like the Rat Police posting pictures of just cars with bubbles on flat panels is mind blowing to me. But
right.
Anyway. But now you have to look at other things. It's not just bubbles. Anybody can do that, but your peeling, your stretching, your discoloration, and your adhesive lines. When you see somebody that can install a car and not have any of that, that's a good installer.
Right. I agree. I would say, I mean, this is my opinion at the end of the day, nobody else's, but I think 80% of the project is the type of wrap you get. 80% of it is that. 20% is the installer. We're just taking it off the backer and putting it on. The technology and the bubble free and all that technology that's in there, that's 80% of the fucking project right there. Like, there should be no reason.
I forgot about trash.
Yeah, but there should be no reason why you get bubbles, you get wrinkles, because you can pick it up and heat it out. If you're sitting there and you're slamming it and you're zippering the fucking thing, like, you're only doing yourself a disservice, You could get a wrinkle, pop it, give it some quick heat, depending upon the color, mind you, but depending upon the color, it could mess it up. But like on a matte black, you could pick that sucker right back up, heat it up real quick.
Yeah, that's one of the coolest things about wrap. So when I see some of this stuff on the internet, I'm just like, Jesus, like I'm just a guy in my garage.
Right. You're underground.
Especially when and I'm like, I'm like not talking shit, but I'm better than that.
Well, I mean, I'm saying business wise, you're still kind of underground. Your business has flourished because you've gotten the clientele. You're building the word of mouth. It's the word of mouth client is where you want to be at. You don't want to be spending money on advertising and shit like that, doing it out of your house, because that just, not that it looks unprofessional, but at the end of the day, it's just like, hey, either shit or get off the pot, dude. Like, go open up a shop or stay where you are, but don't do what you're doing. You know what I mean? But at the same time, how many little places have you gone to, like little hole in the wall shops, nice little restaurants? They're in these little nooks and crannies. Those are the places you want to go because it's word of mouth. Like, those people are busy because people know them and they share it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I had a customer. I actually had a guy from the dealership call me the other day and say, "Hey man, I got this customer. He's buying a Corvette. He saw your Porsche. He wants to do a jam wrap on it. Here's his number." So I had a follow-up with him today, as a matter of fact, and he was like, "Hey, did you call that guy?" And I said, "Honestly, man, I'm stacked. I mean, if he's serious, he can call me."
Right.
And that's not to blow him off. That's not to blow him off. But I mean, I got this M4. I got a F-250 right after. I got a Challenger right after that. Like I'm stacked.
You're good for this month. Are you trying to wrap like one car a week type of thing? Like, how's your schedule work?
Well, because I work full time, and all this is. I make this clear to all my customers. I work. And everybody who's local knows, like, look, I work for Gulfstream, so everybody knows Gulfstream. They know the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh shit, he's working 10 hours. I do it on the weekends, and I do it for a couple hours after work. So like, I'll get off work, and what I try to do is I try to keep a very tight schedule. So I'll be like, and I know that this is dependent on the customer, but in a perfect ideal situation, I'll receive a car Thursday night, and that Thursday night I'll wash it and I'll prep it. And depending on the complexity of the car, that could be, as far as I can, if I'm not familiar with the model, or let's say if it's something I'm really familiar with, like, any Nissan, they're all the freaking thing. The GTR, all the way down to the freaking Sentra. I'll have that car washed, stripped, clay barred, and ready to wrap in a couple hours.
Wow.
Me and my dad. My dad assists. And that includes having it on jack, wheels off, whatever we're doing. If it's just a basic color change, it'll be ready to go, and I'll cut down the film and I'll stop. That's all I'm doing that night. And then I'll start it on Thursday, Friday morning. We'll get what we can get done, and then up to Sunday, I'll put in the work on the Sunday, and then if it's not done, I'll continue on it during the week. But yeah, typically any modern sedan, like let's say a Nissan, like it's like a Maxima. So I did a Maxima last year. We did it. It was like a not same day, 1 day turnaround. So we received the car Thursday. It was this exact what I just explained. We washed it, prepped it that night, cut down the material. So Maximas are fairly simple. We take off, remove the bumper, headlights, fog lights, mirrors, trims, door handles, rear taillights, ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And then clay barred it, did the normal prep, and then we didn't even wrap it Friday. I explained to the customer something, we're not going to be able to touch it Friday, but we'll get it on a Saturday. So we went in Saturday, wrapped the whole thing that same day, and gave it to them the next day.
Wow.
What'd you use? Man hours wise.
What'd you use for material?
He went with the Oracle, the Intergalactic. It's the only Maxima on my page that's not mine.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, all the Nissan Maximas on my page are mine. There's been like 6 wraps on it now.
Yeah, you like to change it up, which is good. It's good advertising.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love. One of my goals when I first started was to try every type of film. So I had a gloss color shift to start. I went to Avery brushed, aluminum next, which Justin Pate himself gave the bless off on the install, which was pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah, we can get to that in a minute. And then I went to Vivid Red Chrome.
How'd you like Vivid?
That's what that deep breath is for. I pulled it 2 months later. After I had the Red Chrome done, I had a Boston video shoot. So if you go on, you can Google it or go on Boston's page and look up Red Chrome Bandit. That's my car. Wow. And so because I had the new Boston work wheels that just came out, I did the Red Chrome wrap. I was killing it in the car scene. As far as Maximas goes, I mean, we're not talking. It's just a Maxima, all right? But everybody's an enthusiast for something. I'm not saying I'm out here breaking the internet or not like that. But I mean, I'm into cars, and I have my Maxima, and I truly believe any car can be cool. So they hooked up the video, really awesome of them, and then I pulled the wrap right after that. It was only on there for 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just scratched a lot. I'm just washing it, and I was putting scratch marks in it and stuff. So I pulled it and went to the satin black right away, and the satin black was my first perfect wrap. There was not a single flaw on it. There was no discoloration. Yeah, it was my first perfect wrap.
Same thing, Oracle, or you went with different brand?
No, that was Avery. the Avery Satin Black.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think Avery has the best satin as far as workability and how it goes down and everything. I mean, the stuff is flawless once you get it on there, correctly. It's amazing stuff as far as satin goes. Then I went to the psychedelic with vivid copper chrome to match my copper forged wheels. I upgraded my Boston to a Boston forged, and then I did psychedelic with orange chrome. That was crazy. Then I did this camho wrap. So the camho wrap has been the most attention grabbing wrap ever. And surprisingly, I get more people than I've only met maybe one person that was a little iffy on it. Because I was a little bit worried, man, this thing's offensive. I mean, depending on who you are, it's not offensive, but
yeah.
It's literally like a BDSM theme rap. The idea came from my roommate because Metro had dropped those new, that new seductive camo, and I was like, man, that's pretty cool. And then my roommate was like, you should do a BDSM theme rap, and I was like, I don't know, man. I'm trying to attract people, not scare them away. But no, man, it ended up being a huge hit. I did a professional video shoot with it with KC Films, and then Dub Magazine picked up on it and they reposted it. I didn't get a feature, but it was a repost, which was really cool. When Dub Magazine reposted it, my Facebook blew up. I was like, man, this is what it's like to be an attractive woman, because I was getting friend requests. I couldn't keep up with the friends requests. I just stopped.
Just blowing.
And it was
up.
a lot of it, it wasn't just regular people too. I'm like, who are these people? We're talking industry leaders, business owners all around the world. It was insane.
Feels good to go viral, right?
I still have 300 requests from that I never responded to.
Oh my God.
They're just sitting in there.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, man, it takes is one little post or a repost from somebody that's influential in the industry or anything. I would have thought you would have gotten fire when you were on Boston's, reposts.
It was the Boston video was the second most viewed video on their page for that year. I got beat out. I got edged out by about 1,000 views in December going into the new year by a freaking Hellcat.
But you know
what?
Video
that they posted.
Close call, man. You were right there. That's not a lot by 1,000 videos, man.
Yeah, it was there. They even mentioned it when I got a tour of the factory when I had my wheels built by them, and they was like, dude, everybody loves that car. And I was like, it's surprising because it's just a Maxima. There ain't nothing special about that car.
Well, I mean, to each their own, like you said, everyone's into different things, old school, new school, whatever, exotic, not exotic, American muscle, imports, shit like that. But you ever get, into talks, some type of sponsorship with Boston to kind of grow both kind of cross promote type of thing?
Well, they sponsored me before. They offered me a sponsorship on the wheels that I have, the old wheels that I sold, the Boston Work wheels. But I get all my wheels through a buddy of mine who owns a distribution shop in Maryland, Prestige Wheelhouse. So he treats me like a dealer.
Wow.
So basically I'll be like, hey, I want these wheels. He'll be like, all right. He gives me dealer pricing, and then I can sell the wheels at retail, and I can pay him what he wants. Right. So basically, I'm like a dealer, but I don't have a wheel and tire machine. So I don't go advertising that. Usually if I have a customer, and I had a couple customers that come through, and they'd be like, I'll be like, hey, I can do wheels for you too, and I'll do the wrap and I'll do the wheels, whatever they want.
Yeah, kind of like a
I'll have
full service shop type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, try to, and he'll send me the wheels with tires mounted and balanced and everything. So it's easy.
Damn. Yeah, you don't get that all the time.
And I make a little extra money that way too.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta make a little residual off it. You're making a phone call.
Yeah, of course. Because if I sell retail, I'm giving him the dealer price, I'm paying him that amount. I keep the rest. So
Right.
you can make a couple $1,000 off a set of forged wheels.
Oh, why are you wrapping cars then?
Well, I mean, I don't have a shop with a damn tire machine and all that.
I know.
Yeah.
But damn,
That'd be awesome.
for the side work, man, that's great. When you can sell a wrap and a new set of shoes, you know what I mean? For a nice client.
Yeah, I could sell anything. I could sell anything he sells, I can sell to customers. So that includes wide body kits,
Wow.
air suspension. Yeah, I just bought a Liberty Walk kit for my Mini Cooper. That's being made right now.
You got a Mini Cooper too? Damn.
The Mini Cooper that's on my page, that's mine.
What year is that?
2007 to R56.
Damn.
Turbo. That one did a full jam wrap on that.
Dude, those things
pull the doors off.
Fast.
Yeah. It's a quick little company. It only weighs 2,600 pounds.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's cool, man. So you got two. So you got two hooked up cars.
It's recent on the post too. If you scroll down, it's like
I've
not
seen
too
it.
far down.
Yeah, I've seen it. I didn't know that was yours too. Damn.
Yeah.
It's that aviation money, ain't it? No, I'm just fucking. I'm fucking with you. No, man, it's that side hustle money at the end of the day.
Say that. I saved up for a while to be able to buy that.
Yeah, dude, it
took some saving.
Dude, it ain't cheap. The Mini Coopers are basically BMWs, and as we all know, German cars are very expensive to maintain. I know from experience.
It's definitely over-engineered, like most BMWs from that era. Wild.
For sure. And you would know. You know, coming from that type.
I take apart a lot of cars.
Yeah.
That's another advantage I have too to the aviation. I'm not afraid to take apart something expensive. If someone came into, not that anyone would, but if someone came into my place with a Ferrari, I'd have no qualms about digging into it.
Yeah, you'd be pretty confident and start taking bolts apart and.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Because I'm in manufacturing, I understand that it's all built with the same plastic nuts, bolts, and clips as any other thing. I mean, sure, different manufacturers do things slightly differently, and you might have to figure that out. There's nuances to it, but at the end of the day, it's just nuts, screws, and bolts.
That's it. But some bolts and screws and nuts cost more. You know what I mean? You missed.
Yeah, I've broken some stuff.
Yeah.
I pretty much expect clips to break, so I keep you can go on Amazon and get clip packs.
Yeah.
For like $20, and you can get
them.
Euro or Korean or American, whatever. I keep a couple sets on hand. Pretty much expect clips to break, but sometimes you get lucky, you don't break them. Usually on newer cars. Older cars, just expect all the clips to go.
Yeah.
You may as well just build that into the price if you're working on an older car.
Oh, 100%. 100%, dude.
Not that I'm an expert, but.
No, but you figured trial and error.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You break a couple of clips and then you're sitting there like, okay, well, where can I get these? You know?
Yeah, exactly. And then, having the right tools is important too. And that's part of reinvesting in yourself in the shop. You gotta, if you're going to start working on these cars, don't just be using your freaking, and this is pro tip, spend some money on the right tools.
Right.
Especially if you're gonna be the one taking apart these cars, get the right tool for the job. Don't be like, especially when it comes to standard and metric, don't be like, oh, this one is not the right size, but it fits, and then you end up stripping out a screw, and then you're screwed.
You're screwed. Yeah, no pun intended. Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, it doesn't take much to go out and I don't know if you got a Harbor Freight where you are, but it doesn't take much to go to like a Harbor Freight and spend $100 on, a good set of, Allen wrenches,
Yeah, and don't be afraid to, some people are like, oh, gotta have Snap-on. Like, just so you know, it's made in the same factory in China.
Same
shit. It was actually proven in court.
Really? I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that big fancy Daytona jack?
Yeah.
I have one. Yeah, Snap-on sued them and you can look this up, you can Google this. Snap-on sued them for copying their product. they lost. They were able to prove that it was different enough, and then they countersued for defamation because they basically dropped the hammer. It's like, look, like, this is defamation. They build their, we get them from the same factory. It's the same shit.
Wow, they just put a different label on it.
Pretty much.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of the tools are like that.
I mean, tools are tools. If you're gonna break them, you're gonna break them. You're gonna break a snap-on set.
Yeah.
You're gonna break.
Pro tip for the guys listening: like, Harbor Freight's not that bad.
No, it's not, dude. Who wants to go out and spend $500, $1,000 on tools for what? You're just taking screws and bolts and clips off. Like, why? You know what I mean? You spend $10 on a T. What is that? A T8, a T6, a T12 to take out handles.
Yep.
It's all the same shit. It's the same shit. You break it. I'd rather be out $10 than $50 on a tool. You know?
Yeah, I still have my aviation toolbox. It has a lot of, 1/4-inch stuff, so I'm good there. And then I got a little piece of shit Cobalt set from Home Depot or whatever it is. They sell Cobalt.
Yeah.
And then I do have some expensive stuff. Since I started working on the Mini Cooper, I've had to buy a lot of special tools.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing. Whenever I'm dealing with a car I'm familiar with, when it comes to the tooling and the taking stuff apart, I don't guess. I do the research, and if it comes down that I have to buy a special tool to take it apart correctly, I buy the damn tool.
Right. Like for instance, the Porsche, in order to take off the wing on the back that goes up, you got to have a special tool to get underneath to pull the wing off. Like, there's
So Porsches, one thing about Porsches, I didn't have to take off the wing. Fortunately, I couldn't get the door panel off. It was it appeared to be permanently riveted. So if I had to take the rivets out, I'd have to reinstall them, which I could do. But then I'd be inclined to get the proper rivets from Porsche, and I'd probably lose my ass on it.
Yeah.
So we just wrapped. He was happy with because he had a lot of satin black accents, so he left the handles black, and I just wrapped around them.
Nothing wrong with that.
I was fortunate there.
Lucky.
Yeah. I got lucky there. But Porsche. Now, one thing I'll say about Porsches, though, of all the cars I've ever taken apart, they engineer those cars for serviceability. They have to, because the way that bumper came, so I'm going to tell you, all right, let me backtrack just real quick with this Porsche. This is my first Porsche. People don't notice. If you look at my Instagram, they're like, oh, wow, he wrapped the Porsche. That's cool. I wrapped that Porsche 3 times now, and it's about to be 4.
Wow.
And it's not because of bad work or nothing. This man has had the worst luck with his Porsche. He first hit a deer on Tail of the Dragon. He's an enthusiast all the way. He drives the shit out of his car, right? So he went to Tail of the Dragon. A deer ran across his car, took out the whole front end, right? So he had it fixed, and he had it wrapped after that. That was the first wrap I did. He took it to Tail of the Dragon when I got done wrapping it. Like, that weekend, hit another deer, was dead in the middle of the road.
What?
Smashed another deer. Yeah. Came back, got it wrapped the 3rd time. That 3rd time, I took the bumper off for the first time. The first 2 times, I left the bumper, lights, everything in. The 3rd time, the lights come off. You don't even need tools. It comes with a little toolkit inside, and that's what you take the light off. You got to stick it in a certain hole, and you just click it. And when you turn it, the headlights pop out. You didn't even need your own tools for that.
Wow.
Then the bumper, I was like, I want to take the bumper off this time because I felt that wrapping around those protruding fog lights took so long. I felt that if I can figure out how to do the bumper in a reasonable amount of time, it'd be faster for the wrap overall. And it's true. So the wrap, it was just a couple bolts, a couple clips in the bottom, and it has these little tabs that secure it. And then it's on like a rail system. So it's like designed to come off. And they're all designed to come off. That sounds stupid, but it's almost like it's designed for serviceability. And it was the one thing that I was like, wow, these Porsches are really easy.
And
So, obviously some cars are more difficult than others, but I found the Porsche overall to be extremely easy.
it's a lot of pieces in the Porsche, man.
I hardly took anything off. That first time, I only took off the headlights and the taillights. That's it. And the front badge. Everything else still on the car.
Dude, I did a Porsche back in 2000. I want to say 2014 or 2015. There's actually a video of me wrapping it on YouTube. If you type in Design Flow Wraps Porsche, I collaborated with a detail shop called Unique Auto Care. They do a lot of PPF. They do a lot of color correction and detailing, but nothing to do with wrap. So he contracted me to do a wrap. He had a guy come in and disassemble the Porsche for me. I'm like, fucking two-door. How much disassembly could there be? Well, in the part of the video, there's a table full of parts. Like, this guy took the sunroof off. This guy took all the...
What year is this Porsche?
I want to say it was a 2000... It had to be around that time, 2015, 2014 turbo.
Shit, that's newer than the one that I'm well. Mine is a 14.
Dude, was it a turbo? Yeah, it was a turbo because it had a turbo badge that we got black badges for the back, and you got like the blacked out Porsche emblem in the front. And dude, that wing in the back, bro. Let me tell you, like you can manually put it up. But it only goes up like fucking 6 or 7 inches. Like
that's the flush mount, right?
Yeah, dude, you can't wrap underneath that. What are you, crazy?
I didn't wrap underneath mine. I manually raised it up, and then I wrapped on the top and the sides and everything. Like you can't tell; it looks clean. But I didn't remove it to wrap underneath.
But dude, I was going from red to matte gray. Like,
oh no, you have to.
You have to. Dude,
if the car was white, mine was like dark gray. If it was white or red, I would have had to have taken it off.
I got screwed, basically. I had to do the thing in like fucking 10 pieces. It sucked because to get the tool, basically what the tool is, to be honest with you, what the tool is like, the old school way of jacking up your coilovers? Same fucking tool. You know what I mean? It's two little...
You're talking about it's like crow's foot wrench?
Yes. You needed 2 of them or some shit. One to hold it and the other one to like screw it out. And that was it. And then that whole wing comes right out, apparently. That's what I read and all this shit. And I was like, okay, are we going to get the tool? We're not going to get the tool. He's like, well, do you think you can wrap it without getting the tool? Because the tool's fucking $300. And we can rent it. We can rent it for like, I forget how much. It was like better off just to buy the stupid thing. And I was like, I don't know. Fucking, I guess I'm going to have to try, right? I mean, we're all sitting here holding our dicks in our hands and, I'm the only one rapping. So I guess I get dealt the cards. So realistically, I probably did it in 3 pieces, like the edges, like you did, but I had to do the center, dude. And let me tell you, trying to do the wing with the fucking the little trunk with the louvers, it's all right there. Like there's no room to work, dude. Like back there, it sucks.
Yeah, now I was fortunate to not have to deal with the louvers. I've seen some wraps on some of these Porsches. I'm like, holy shit, these Caymans still don't have those.
No,
that
dude.
That sounds like you were wrapping a Turbo S.
Turbo S, that's what it was. Because it had, you know what the difference was? It had those crazy vents on the, in front of the wheels, the rear wheels.
That had to suck.
Dude, and that shit, you know what? And that shit is deceiving. When you look at a side of a Porsche, you're like, wow, the thing's really beautiful, beautiful lines. Bro, when you look at that thing from the ass to the front, it's deceiving how wide that back wheel is. Like,
they're really wide.
Dude, you literally have to, the best way to do it, and I think the way that I did it was I laid everything into that section first and then worked out. Like, there's no way I was going to push it all in because I could potentially discolor it or get,
Yep. I had to do that with the Honda Civic. That Honda Civic I wrapped recently, and it has those two. It looks like a body kit of sorts. It's like these little fog light surrounds. I did those in one piece,
ooh.
but inside out. You can't. If you try to wrap the whole thing and stretch it in, it's just gonna peel up.
Yeah.
For discolor.
Discolor. You get blue lines.
Inside out. Yeah, inside out. It's like magic, though.
You wouldn't even have think. You wouldn't even have thought to like do it that way, right? You're just like, oh, let me try it.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with trunks. Sometimes like if you got a trunk that you can cut in two pieces and you got that flat back, you can do inside out, like the BMWs and stuff.
Yeah, you do. Well, I've seen people do also the inside of the plate first. If it's like if it's a real deep recessed, like license plate area, they do that first and work out. And sometimes that's easier, man. I've looked at things differently now, moving forward, where I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm not going to push it in, and that's the last part. You can get everything else around it nice, and then you mess up the middle. It's like, oh, well, got to rip that off. Start fresh. It sucks. And I don't think I even wrapped the vents. So we were doing black, like satin black, like accents. Like all the window trim, the two vents on the sides. I tried wrapping one of those vents. I told him I couldn't do it. There's no way. It's like, it's so deep in. I got to do it in like 6 pieces. I'm like, I'm not a big advocate to plasti dip, but in this particular instance, it looked great plasti dipped.
Yeah.
Did in satin
I
black.
remember when I first made the decision to change the color of my car, I was like, what are the options out there? I don't want to paint it because I don't want to tank the resale value.
Right.
But I was like, all right, you got dip and you got wrap, right? And I go to car shows. I have never seen a perfect dip job.
No, you never will.
Yeah, I was like, unless Fonzie himself is dipping my car, it's not worth it.
Oh.
But then I was like, well, I've seen some good wraps. I mean, you can obviously some shitty wraps everywhere you go. You go to any car show, there's half the car is going to be wrapped, and of those half, 95% of them are going to be garbage.
Right.
Well, I don't want to talk shit about people's stuff, but I mean, like, it's probably not,
But there are bad stuff out there.
Those are strong words. Those are strong. Let me take that back.
Yeah. No, but I mean, there are pretty bad raps out there. Then again, we don't know the demographic of where they're coming from or who's doing them.
Yeah.
So.
Well, now that I'm in the industry myself, I try to curb that, because it might be some guy in his garage and he's proud of it because he did it himself. Right.
It's a DIY install.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. And I'm a big advocate to, it's okay to start somewhere. Everybody's got to start somewhere, whether it's you're going to be mobile or you're going to start out of your garage, whatever the case may be. You've kind of got a unique situation of what you're doing and how you're doing it, because you don't really.
Yeah, lately it's been a lot of high end cars, man, and I've had my fair share of shitty wraps. Some of the wraps on my page, even I didn't turn out so well. But I learned from the mistakes, and it's starting to snowball now. So what's happening is, I got a couple of local business owners, and they know other people and so forth and so forth. So, once you do a good job on one or two high end cars, the rest is just like dominoes after that.
Mm-hmm.
So this GTR, this gray, the Nardo gray one that I just wrapped, that's in that video, that was one of the most absolute in-depth jobs I've ever done. It pretty much is. I did a Jetta for Volkswagen USA a couple years ago for Solo, a big Euro car show that takes place here in Savannah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was previously my biggest shot. It's a full jam wrap. They sent the car to me straight off the production line. Crazy.
Wow.
But they do it big.
Wow.
But this GTR is a local he's a local business owner. He's also the president of a local car club, and we've known each other for a while, and he was just like, hey man, I want you to wrap my car. I want I don't want to see white anywhere. I said, like, how deep are we going? Because, when people say jams, yeah, you're doing the doors, but you're not doing the trunk.
Right.
I did the trunk.
Damn, dude.
I even offered to do the under the hood, and then he was like, let's do it. And then I had a conversation with my dad, and I started thinking logically. I was like, wait, this guy's going to change the color probably next year for the next show season. He's getting it ready for this car show season. And he's probably going to change it next car show season.
You're going to have to take it off.
Yep. I was like, I'd rather not deal with the engine heat out of that GTR, smoking the adhesive, and it possibly being permanent, or spending 5 or 6 hours getting it off when it's time for me to redo it. So
yeah, smart.
I did do the trunk though, and I got the pictures to prove it. Up close, high res. I'm really big on that. Up close, high res pictures. I see other people there. We got some freelancers here locally. We got a couple other places locally, and it's not to talk shit. It's just all wraps look good in pictures, man. All wraps look good in pictures.
They do. I agree with you on that, and it's deceiving. I mean, until you see it.
One of the reasons. Yeah, one of the reasons too why I take extra, I go all out with the pictures. One, you look a little bit more professional, and two is because it's kind of I don't show my cards here, but it's kind of like a goal for me. I want to be a Pain is Dead network installer one day.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a goal for me, and they told me what I had to do, and things might have changed, right? The things might have changed now, but Austin told me, it was like, look, these are the things you need to do. The criteria might change now, because now that he has this, or they have their own like certification program thing where once you're an installer in their network, you get full plaque.
Right.
So maybe the standards will put up. But he told me the criteria that you got to have a shop, an open shop. You have to have a 5-star on your Facebook. You have to have high res, up close pictures of all your work. And then I guess they have like an interview process on top of all that with some of their other installers, and whatever. So it's kind of like a goal for me, something to shoot for. And I feel like, when I do open the shop, I feel like I'd be a good candidate to be a network installer for them.
Those are great goals, man. I mean, not a lot of people would go above and beyond to the extent that you're going, but it's more of a pride thing for yourself at the end of the day. It
really is. You don't get a lot of customers that want to spend that money either.
Oh, right. But if you got a good portfolio with detailed photographs, ensuring that they're going to get the best quality, photos themselves sell themselves. Okay?
Yeah.
Good, bad, and indifferent. They sell the job most of the time, because you can only talk up your game so much before it's just like, okay, well, let's see it, and at the end of the day, having your car as a personal portfolio to show up with clients at a meeting, or they're meeting you at your place, whatever the case may be like, yo, look at my car. Like, this is the type of quality and work and craftsmanship that I put into everyone's car as if it's my own, so that's really big. And to show up to someone's place, work, business, whatever, and you're not even showing up in a wrapped car and you're selling wraps, there's a fucking problem. You know what I mean? Like, just, you're not.
And then on top of that, all suited up. A lot of times I meet clients straight from my primary job, and I'm in the,
casual
and a nice, and then I pull up in the wrap car and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, there's a good.
I've considered when I do open a shop to continue dressing that way when I meet clients.
Dude, that'd be sick, bro. You know what I wanted to do?
It's kind of like extra, but I don't know, man. Like,
shows
it works.
Yeah, everybody's got to dress dapper. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with that, bro. I wanted to turn my shop into like an old 50s, 60s barbershop type theme. I loved that shit. I wanted to have my chairs be like barbershop chairs when they came in to like for consultations.
Yeah, you can have the spinny thing and you can wrap it yourself.
Dude,
the spinny, I don't know what it's called.
I know what you're talking about. And like,
Yeah.
you know, the little container that they always got the blue liquid in with the combs
Yep.
and shit. You could put your knives, your
Mhm.
fucking tools, and have that as like your little workstation.
That'd be a really cool theme.
Bro, I thought of that shit for like ever, and I was just like, fuck. And like everybody had to wear like those long bibs instead of pouches. Everyone would have those like long kind of like, almost like aprons with pouches.
Yeah. Well, that'd be good. That'd be good for PPF. I hear it's really wet.
Yeah. You don't want to get your knees all junked up and soaked and your pants all messed up. It's just, and plus it keeps the shit from your shirt or whatever is like on you away from the car, obviously. I always like the look of an apron. I don't know about you, but
it'd probably be honestly, it'd probably be a little bit cumbersome. I know we're kind of daydreaming here, but at the end of the day, it'd probably be a little bit cumbersome trying to, because I'm crawling around the floor a lot, man.
yeah, but you think about it.
I'm happy to finally have the lift.
Oh my god, dude! I saw you just bought that recently, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice. It's what is it again? What's the name of it? It's a normal brand, right? It's
Yeah, it's the Quick Jack. It's it's a sub Benpack brand, so it's high quality.
How do you like it?
Costco.
How do you like it?
Pro tip.
What do you got?
Buy it from Costco.
Costco. There's a deal.
Costco, yeah, they sell them wholesale. It's way cheaper than buying directly from Quick Jack.
Oh shit!
It's a Quick Jack.
What do you what is it? Just compressed air? You got to use a compressor?
No, it's hydraulic. You got to put tranny fluid in it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How does it get its power?
110. You get options.
Really?
Yeah, you could do 110, 220, and even 12 volt. They'll give you a little 12 volt adapter, so it's truly mobile.
And then
Plug
what?
that shit into your car.
And then what? Once you jack it up, you can lock it, and then it's stable.
Yep. It has two locking detents.
Wow.
And it's completely stable. Mine is rated for 5,000 pounds.
Okay. Do you trust it?
Absolutely.
When you have the wheels off and shit, that's the thing that scares me the most.
One thing me and my dad were worried about is like, oh man, it's just those two slim things. Like, what if the shit tips over?
Right.
And like I was talking to someone who owns one. They said, dude, are you strong enough to move 4,000 pounds? And I was like, no. And he's like, well, there you go. It's not going to tip over.
There's your answer. Fucking over-engineering it. Thinking too hard about how you could tip a 4,000 pounds.
It's very sturdy. It's very sturdy.
So
we're really happy with it. It's nice to not have to be on the ground as much now.
Yeah.
And mm-hmm.
Well, it's as you get older, it gets a little harder to get up in the mornings. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we got a new the little rolly chairs. We got the Mycanic one, and it has a little tray with a beer holder and a little plastic thing. So I put my squeegees and blade and shit in there. It's awesome.
That's sick, dude. And
they do a lot of mobile detailing type products and special pot lights and shit. But I got the regular chair. It's awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, when you can slide around and just sit down like a fucking gentleman. You know what I mean? Yep.
And it's comfortable, and it has a little tray to hold all your stuff.
See, that's the thing that I think we don't use a lot of is those types. I mean, I mean, how much was that chair? Like $100 or something?
$75 plus shipping.
That's not that bad. But for something that, you're comfortable, you know what I mean? You got the car on the lift, it's your height, your level of comfort. But then when you want to get down to the rocker panels, the bottoms of the doors, who wants to sit on their knees? I don't think anybody's putting on, knee pads.
Knee pads? Some people do. When I first started, I did it because I didn't have a lift, and I wasn't even jacking my cars up in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I mean,
but
it's rough. It's rough out there in them streets.
Yeah, but you're like legit over there, man. You're working on it.
I'm trying to be.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to be.
You're doing it right. You know what I mean? You're starting off small. You're going to get to the point where the growing pains are going to be too much, and you're going to have to make that small jump to open up a garage.
Yeah, I'm making preparations because things are snowballing, starting to. I don't want to, knock on wood, but I'm going to PPF training this week So I'm hoping I can make something out of that. I'm going to IBOW. I leave Sunday.
Nice.
I'm getting dealership work. So I got a Porsche dealership that wants to work with me thanks to my Porsche customer. I already work with the local Toyota dealership, and I'm working hopefully with a Chevy dealership soon. And so I'm still mostly a one-man show. My dad doesn't rap, but he helps. I can solo install, but it's just way better quality to have two sets of hands. It's just faster and better.
Yeah, holding the film, and, holding the film out. You know, it's just.
Yep.
You ever
Yes, it's
great tool is the auto skins.
I have it.
Yeah, dude. That's, yeah, dude. I mean, as a fellow solo installer, I never had that shit. So it's like, oh, I gotta figure it out. But at the end of the day, dude, like those things are there for a reason. They work.
Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes I prefer to do a complete solo install once in a while. And my dad will be like, well, you don't want me to help? And I'm like, no, it's not that. It's just, you're not always going to be around. And solo skills and tandem skills are totally different things. Tandem install and solo install is not the same, and you have to develop those solo install skills. Otherwise, you can go from one rat to the next, and you can be putting out perfect rats, and the next you got adhesive lines and trash everywhere because you don't know how to pull the backing paper off solo.
That's very true, dude. That's very true. I think the hardest way to learn is solo. Like not having that extra pair of hands to hold the film taut and glassed and everything for you. You lose it. I mean, when you're hanging and banging, a 26-foot box truck, full commercial with registration with a 1-inch overlap by yourself.
Yeah, and I don't do commercial.
Yeah.
It's a shame. I need to get more training there because I failed my Avery certification test. That's a story.
Oh, you went and got, you went for the certification and how did
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Shit. So you were like fresh.
Yeah. I went in, man. Like I take this seriously. Like you mentioned earlier, like why would you want to get into rapping when you have this career? Just like it's a passion, man. I love it, and if someone's paying me to do something, I want to at least have some sort of training or certification I can back up what I'm doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So after my 10th rap, I went to the class.
Wow.
I did it at 201 rap with Justin Tate and the guys down there from the Tate and Dead crew.
Wow. Did you take did you take a refresher or the class? Test.
No, I did the advanced and then testing. So I failed the hood registration part. So what happened was they're like, yep, you got 40 minutes to register this hood. We don't care we don't care if you do the design how high up or how high down, but it has to be centered left and right. And then you got to complete it in 40 minutes. I knew that I needed to get it centered, but I didn't understand
where to measure from.
Yes, I must have spent like a good, out of that 45 minutes, like 25 minutes just trying to get it lined up and feel the paper properly and keep it centered. And I didn't make time. And that was the end of my test. I did the color change, like nothing passed. That was flying colors. And the written exam I did. And then, when it came time I didn't even get to the door part and the cutting test, but when I got to the hood, and Justin Tate, he was real cool. He's like, hey, you don't do commercial, do you? And I was like, no. And he's like, let me show you something. And he took a marker and marked 3 slits from the paper to the fender on each side. And he said, all you gotta do now is peel the paper and line these marks back up. And I'm like, shit.
Yeah. Like mind blown. You're like, whoa, all I needed was a fucking little marker,
but
dude.
I got a little certificate of completion, and I got the free roll of film and the tools and the experience, and I can say that I've been to training, and even that, a lot of people don't even have that.
Yeah.
A lot of it,
Even if it's just a little small class, I mean, no matter what career you're in, I'm sure you do this still now in the aviation part, is you have to keep up with your certs. You know, whether it be an hour-long class that you still have to attend to a refresher or,
oh yeah, we have to do our stuff every year.
Yeah.
You know, static electricity classes, continuous improvement, business classes, stuff like that. In my position, we get access to some other business, stuff like leadership development courses and whatnot. But, yeah, you have to.
Every year changes, you know, different things come up and they have to keep you up to date in your certifications. And that's how it should be with the rap industry, is that you shouldn't just stop with one certification or one class and be like, oh, okay, I'm all done. I get it. You know, it's not how it works.
No, I want to go back. So I really want to get that certification. It's, I feel it's, pretty prestigious to everyone.
Yeah.
Especially after, training with Justin Pate and everything. And, you know, he you get some insider stuff. Stuff he doesn't talk about in the Rap Institute. And I would like to get the 3M1 too, but golly, it's expensive, man. Gotta save up for that one.
I know. It's a lot of money, and it's.
I'd have to take I'm already taking a week's worth of vacation to go do this XPEL training. I'm like, damn, I have to take another week for the 3M and come on my ass damn near $3,000.
Yeah.
I hear it's worth it though. I hear it's worth it.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I think the 3M one is more, driven towards the, commercial end of things. If that's the way you want to go. I mean, it's a big topic. It really depends, on your demographic.
Yeah, man. I hear so many people say that one commercial contract can pay the bills. That sounds great, to be honest with you.
It can. Absolutely. One good fleet job could potentially, you know, catapult you to, you know, a pretty big payday. But at the end of the day, it could also ruin you too, because if you don't have the structure or the capabilities of printing, designing, production, installation.
Which I don't. I'm not a graphic designer, man. I did a Honda Civic logo for that one customer, and what I did was I wrapped the logo and did the Honda. I wrapped the logo, the background color matched the car, and I did the Honda logo in black. It took me 4 hours to design the Honda logo to match the font of the factory Honda font.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
When you could have
I'm not a graphic designer by any means.
When you could have just pulled the Honda symbol and vectorized it in 2 clicks.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I did. But the thing is, I don't even know how to do that.
Ah.
I was on YouTube I was on YouTube University for a couple hours trying to figure this shit out.
Well, I'll tell you, man. Well, I was going to say, if you ever get into a jam, you know that We Print Raps can design stuff for you and create stuff for you.
Yeah, I've been checking them out. I like some of their custom camos.
Yeah, they've got a great selection.
I need to find somebody to do a design. If someone's listening, you know, I want to wrap my car chrome next, but I want to do a printed chrome design. And I was thinking about doing the new Hexus turquoise.
Ooh.
And I wanted to do like a printed koi fish to match my copper wheels.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that'll step it up from the camo wrap. I got to do something bigger. I listened to PG Nola's podcast, and he was talking about doing things bigger and better, and I feel the exact same way, man. It's like, damn, how am I going to top this? Because this thing draws so much attention, good or bad.
Yeah, good or bad, attention is attention, right?
Right, and I'm just like, I got to top this. I have to top this.
Well, Trish just put out a video of them printing on chrome, this crazy design with like rivets in it and shit. It was crazy, but you know,
and it don't have to be super complicated because obviously I have registration issues. But just something
shit. Yeah, we'll have to order 2 of those, please.
Right, and that chrome is not cheap.
No,
even the Hexus is the least expensive of the quality brands, and it's still retarded expensive.
Yeah, man, I feel like chrome. If you can install chrome, you're installing probably the hardest material in the industry to.
I don't know, man. chrome is hard, but so is brush.
So is what?
Brush.
Brush. Yeah, brush is hard. I get it. But I mean, the likelihood.
I've done two brushed wraps and 3 chrome wraps.
3 chrome wraps. Yeah. It's just, you know what it is? It's that the brushed isn't so much you got to worry about 2 things. Alignment of how you're going to install the brush, because you literally can't, you can't panel it. Like, there's just no way. And 2, you can't.
I paneled both of mine.
And you aligned?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's tough,
yeah,
bro.
I got the pictures to prove it. It's on there.
There you go.
It takes longer.
Yeah, it takes a hell of a lot longer. If you could pull a whole sheet off and do it in one piece, that would be ideal.
I was intimidated by doing that, to be honest with you. Let me see. I did the current wrap on my car now was the second time I've ever pulled a whole sheet. I'm like, man, I have a hard time handling a bumper amount of film at 30 inches. Imagine a full 60 inches if we're talking 15, 18 feet.
You're fine.
But we made it happen.
Yeah, you're fine, dude. You know how many times...
Yeah, we just hinged the middle.
Not even that, dude. You know what I do? I hinge I hinge like the very beginning. Like let's just say I hinge, if I'm going from left to right, I usually won't do the fender. I'll do from the door fender, that little half where the mirror is, all the way back.
Yeah.
I'll hinge.
Are you talking solo or tandem?
Whole solo, dude.
Solo, yeah. I still haven't done a full one solo. So both times,
dude, I think
the first time I had my brother stop by, I said, "Hey, pull this paper while me and Dad,
hold it out,
grab this panel." Yeah, and then the second time it was just me and my dad, and I just used the back end paper cutter and hinged the middle.
Yeah, dude. I think honestly, at the end of the day. 2 people.
Pro tip: it's good to have one of those.
Yeah, what the little splitter that cuts the piece.
I got the dual Teflon. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude! That's the way to do it. You tack it in the middle, you hinge one end, and then you hinge the other end. Boom, boom, done. I get it. That solo is probably the best. But back in the day, I'm talking when you didn't have that tool. When I didn't have that tool, I would just peel off the first 6 to 10 inches. And just give it a quick light tack and just hit it with your palm. Boom, boom. Just so you know, if you snap it, it ain't gonna come off. And just peel the backer behind it. You know what I mean? You're not peeling it away.
Well, I definitely know that. I install in a really hot environment, so stuff's usually extra tacky. Yeah, I don't have climate control, man. It sucks. It really does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, the first time I had that was when I did the training in Austin shop. And he had just installed the air conditioner. He's like, yeah, this is brand new. So that first day of training, it was the suck because it was summer. But that second day, he had the AC up and running. It was so nice to install in regular temperature.
Like 72 degrees, like a gentleman.
Yeah, man.
Little cool.
One of the things one of the things that it took for me to learn, because the adhesive lines, once I had my corners down, I was like, all right, these adhesive lines are killing me, man. Like, some cars, you don't notice it, but some you do. And, I'm in Georgia. It's like 90% humidity.
Right.
It's in the summer, it's 100 degrees and 90 degrees at any given time. And, I just had to learn that, you have to get the panel down first time go.
Mm-hmm.
With Avery and 3M at least. KPMF seems to be fucking amazing with adhesive lines. You could take it up 10 times, apply some heat, and there's no lines on that stuff. It's insane.
It's great, right?
If you're working with Avery though, you got one shot in that kind of environment.
Yeah.
That's all you get.
Agreed.
And I don't like throwing away film, so I make it happen first time go.
Yeah. You at least try to. Do you feel like you're apt to more, the Orfold and KPMF, the more aggressive kind of films, as opposed to picking up Avery or 3M right off the gate?
No, Avery and 3M were still the easier ones to install. The thing is, once you start getting that experience and that skill, you need to start expanding to some other brands, and it opens up a different, market as far as the colors you can offer, and It just speaks to your skill and experience as an installer, in my opinion. And also the KPMF finish, man, the gloss and those matte metallics,
Bar none.
the best.
Yeah.
Just bar none the best.
Agreed.
I feel like Avery is obviously the easiest to install. It's the best user friendly. Their pearls are probably among the best, and their satins, in my opinion, are the best. 3M has really good. These are just my opinions. I don't want to
Yeah.
be
No,
speaking
dude.
for everything.
It's like a toilet. Everybody's got one. You know what I mean? It's an opinion.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's all good.
I feel 3M's color palette on the gloss metallic, amazing. Looks like factory paint.
Yeah.
Orcal, what's unique about them is they have that color shift that's non-directional. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, when you can't mess up that panel is always nice.
Yeah, and a lot of people advocate to always install directional regardless, but you're pretty safe with Orcal. They've even explained their manufacturing process. You would think the other companies will pick up on it. They just, they spray the film in multiple directions and stuff at the manufacturing level.
Right.
But when it comes to color shifts though, which is really popular here in the South, my God, those Avery color flows, Jesus Christ, man. There's no one else has color shifts that go 3, 5 colors. So a couple of them, like the Lightning Ridge, that thing shifts 5 colors. It's crazy. Nobody else has that.
Right.
But the psychedelic is unique is because it's reactionary to light, not angle. So everybody has their little niche with the stuff. But as far as quality and stuff, I try to look at it as installability, and end user quality. And, 3M, Avery, Orcal, KPMF, as far as end user quality goes, in my opinion, are the 4 top brands.
Right.
I need more experience with Hexus. I listened to one of your podcasts and they talked about how much you had to heat that. I didn't know that. I did a couple of Hexus wraps and they weren't all that great, and I don't use it too much because of that. So maybe I have some learning to do with Hexus.
Yeah, I heard you gotta heat the shit out of it, which is weird because you don't really have to use that much heat on any other product, but like Hexus, it's
and with that much heat, the individual described was like, fuck, I don't want to damage the substrate now, shit.
Right, but at the same time, it's they specifically say like heat that shit up. Like I'm gonna have Albert Hatfield in on the show very soon, which he's a Hexus trainer, I believe, and he works with Hexus a lot. And
I'll definitely listen to that one because I'm talking about doing a Hexus wrap on the car next on my Maxima.
Yeah,
I tried Tech Wrap once, didn't have a good experience with that.
Tech Wrap, yeah, I haven't heard too much.
I was able to sell off the roll, but
you salvage a little bit more of your cost that you spent on it.
Yeah, I basically sold it I was able to sell it for what I paid for it. I got lucky there. And then the person that bought it, his installer couldn't do it. I think he ended up selling it off.
One film we haven't talked about, and I don't know if you've gone into, is the Cheetah Wrap, Frank Feller's, brand.
Yeah, my God, I got a Cheetah Wrap story too. Jesus.
Ooh,
so, all right.
Let's hear it.
This one I'm not gonna name drop, but a couple years ago, when this stuff first started making the rounds, and I was just like, what's this Cheetah Wrap stuff? And it was an industry professional.
Yeah.
And he told me, I'm new now. He told me himself, yeah, that's just wrap that was expired, and they just buy it, the expired wrap, and they sell it for cheap because it's past its expiration date, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, okay. So basically, if you need some stuff on the cheap, whatever. So now Cheetah Wrap goes mainstream, right? And it's Frank Feller's and all this stuff. And then someone commented, yeah, that's just expired film. I said, yeah, that's what I heard too. Dude, the comment section went in on me.
They fucking laid.
The guy himself that told me this was just like, no, this is Feller's brand. And I wanted to be like, dude, you were the one that told me this. Like, but I just deleted Yeah, no, I just deleted my comment. I was just like, no, I'm good. I'll let you learn.
I'm going to walk out of this chat now. Thanks so much. But,
No, but yeah, I didn't know that. And Feller's, so I haven't had a chance to use it. Now, I did get the samples.
Mm-hmm.
So, it looks extremely thin, and you could and this is just the samples. Maybe since I know the product comes with the liner on it, and the samples don't. So that's probably what it is. But you can see it's so thin, you can see the adhesive grid pattern through the front of the wrap.
Yeah.
And we were talking about doing it on one of my customers' cars, and it was the customer himself that brought up a good point. And he was like, well, what's the price difference between 3M and Avery versus
Cheetah?
This stuff? And I was like, about $100 depending on the color. And he was just like, all right, so we're talking about saving $100 versus going with industry leading brand. He was like, it's not worth it to me. This is the customer. He was like, dude, just get the good stuff. I'm like, all right, yeah. It makes sense.
But it's not,
and it's not a knock. It's not a knock on cheetah wrap. I'm not saying
it's not even.
Stuff.
It's not even $100, dude. It's like $400 cheaper.
Well, like I said, depending on the color, because we were doing this was the Porsche customer. So basic Avery gloss white isn't just like what, 5 something a roll or whatever, depending on where you get it. So he was just like, I'm not worried about $100.
Oh yeah, I mean, what are you getting for that to wrap that? What you getting 75 yards?
Yeah, so I haven't had a chance. Well, one of the local freelancers that I'm buddies with, he did a car with it. He likes it, and my Maxima customer that I did a while back, he pulled the wrap recently and redid it himself. Just trying to get into it himself, and he did it in cheetah wrap. And it looked good in the pictures.
I like how you say that. It looks good in the pictures, but I gotta see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
he's
mean,
a cool kid though, and I gave him some tips. Whatever.
I mean, to each their own. I think it's a great product. I haven't had the chance to use it yet. I see Frank really pushing it. I think he just posted a video today, regarding removability of cheetah wrap.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's got super.
It seems like he's having problems keeping certain colors in, because certain colors are more popular than others.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Nardo gray back in stock. God, that's a popular color.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I was on a waiting list for that rock gray for the GTR. It was insane.
I think that's just more of the beginning stages, you know what I mean? Figuring out, because you don't want to come off the gate at the end of the day either with like a million colors, because everybody else has got the same shit. Matte black's matte black. I mean, maybe not, but if you want it, out of anybody looking at it, no one's gonna be like, oh, that looks a lot shinier than 3M's, or that looks a lot shinier than Hexus or what. It's matte black, dude. Like, what do you want?
Right.
But,
right.
The installation part of it, with it being super low tack, like this shit like floats on air is what I hear.
Yeah, that's what I hear. But Avery's like that too, but I hear this stuff is like,
more than Avery. Yeah, it's like you have to push down. I mean, Avery, I feel I like Avery because of certain characteristics that it has. I really like 3M because you can get away with a lot more with 3M. Like the way it lays and the way you shrink it down, you know what I mean? If you got a little bit of a pocket, you can heat that sucker up and it will shrink down. Avery won't do that. Like if you get a pocket and you kind of heat it to shrink it down, it doesn't shrink down like 3M does. But you get the thicknesses. Avery's a little bit thinner than 3M, And
it is. It seems to stretch more than the other brands too.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to use
be stretching, but
you don't have to use a lot of heat. Like just the heat of your hands holding the film, you can kind of stretch the little bit that you need.
Well, yeah. In the summer here, I don't use heat at all for anything.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
I get customers all the time. It's like I thought you needed a heat gun to install this. It's like nope, not with Avery at least.
Yeah, not with humidity in the air.
Yeah. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with that in your garage?
It sucks.
It's
especially
you got fans blowing out, trying to get that.
Yeah, what I'll do is in the summer I'll turn the fans off for prep. Well, I'll have the fans on. I'll do all my preps. I have compressed air, so once I'm ready to go live, I'll turn everything off, let it settle, use my compressed air, and then I'll go live. And as soon as the film is laid, cut the fan back on. But I'm looking at some other solutions.
Put a
I'm
small
looking at getting
AC unit, one of those stand-up AC units that just blow.
I have one. I spent $500 on a 14,000 BTU one. It
Nothing?
does nothing for a building that's not insulated, and it has a concrete pad that acts like an oven.
Yeah.
It's
just holds.
It's competing, and it's too much. So one of the things I'm looking at doing is they're saying that it's not about the heat, it's about the humidity. So rather than the AC, get a dehumidifier. Now, this machine I have is also a dehumidifier, but it has a small container. So I'm looking at a 72-pint unit, and they said you basically get the humidity out, and then from there, a regular fan should be fine. Like, yeah, it's still going to be hot, but you're not going to be baking like an oven.
Yeah.
And it's all about getting the moisture out of the air and the concrete.
Well, as long as you don't open the door, you're fine. I'm sure when it's cool in there in the mornings, that cool will stay as long as you don't open up that fucking door.
Right. So with the AC currently in the morning, it helps, and I can keep the temperatures down by about maybe 10 degrees. But when it hits the peak, like, it doesn't matter. If it's 90 degrees outside, it's 90 degrees in there with the AC blowing. It don't matter.
Right.
So if I was to leave it on all night and then in the morning, it's able to maintain easier.
Right.
But if I don't have it on, I just put it on in the middle of the day. You're not doing anything. You just have regular fans. Better.
You're at the mercy of weather, which is like your worst enemy, because that prolongs.
It's bad.
Yeah, that prolongs the fucking system.
Yeah, because people would think like, the wrap goes on easier. We're like, yeah, it does technically, but you have to install it first time go, or so you can get a bazillion adhesive lines, and two, it takes a toll on your body. So I can peel the paper and slap the wrap on really fast, but I'm beating myself up in that environment.
Well, and then you run the risk of overstretching something and possibly it coming back because, you're not mindful of your stretch, your heat, the humidity happening. It's a lot easier to have a temperature regulated location, 70, 72 degrees. It's kind of warm, but not really. That's like perfect where the film's not like gum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd rather have it a little bit cooler, to be quite honest. I'd rather work in a cooler environment.
Then you got to worry about it. Then you got to worry about the brittleness with like 3M and KPMF. But but I mean, you can get used to that. Yeah,
as long as you're not, you're being cautious of your snaps. There's nothing worse than being almost done with the panel and you get a snap right in the middle of it. It's like, ooh.
Yeah, happened to me my first winter wrapping. I was doing the satin neon fluorescent pink.
Ooh.
On a Malibu, and this is dead of winter. We get the film on the bumper, everything's good, I'm ready to go, and I had to lift it to correct a wrinkle, and it just snapped right down the middle.
Ooh. It's a bad hit.
$100 in the trash.
My God. My God. It does suck, but you know what? You know better come next winter.
Yeah, well, now I got I ended up getting one of those kerosene heaters for the winter, so I'm good for the winter.
There you go. Oh, you can use it.
Yeah, I got 180,000 BTU kerosene heater. Throw a few gallons of fuel in there, turn it on for 5 minutes, and it'll go from 30 degrees to 70 degrees.
Nice. So you've got your plan all laid out. You know what I mean? You've gone through your winter already. You've gone through your summers. You know what to expect.
Yeah, and then what I plan on doing is I got a freelancer that wants to work with me. So the plan is once I get stopped, what I'm going to do is and I could probably use some advice at this too, because I don't really know how to pay. I know I plan on doing like a per square foot basis. But the plan is I'll go in with my dad. We'll take the cars apart. We'll do all the prep. We'll cut all the film down. Well, basically all he's going to have to do is come in and wrap. This way I can maintain the quality of the build itself, because, I don't want to trust a stranger taking apart $100,000 car.
Right.
And then, until I get to know them or whatever. But I feel too that I won't have to, like I said, I'm not 100% sure how I'm supposed to pay installers on a per square foot basis. I hear $2 an hour or $2 a square foot is an industry standard. I'm not exactly sure. And it might be something that we just have to negotiate too.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably going to know what he needs to come in at, and he's probably going to require so many cars a month or a week or whatever the case may be in order to keep his lifestyle.
But the thing is too, it helps me because I'm losing a little bit of money having to pay the overhead, but now I'm making money while I'm at work too.
Which is, as you kind of smile ear to ear, I mean, ideally, that's a business owner. That's a business move right there.
Yeah.
How can I make money sleeping?
I wouldn't want to do that permanently, though. Like, I wouldn't want to just trust my business. But, I mean, because I need to get started.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a good start.
And I have, personal bills and stuff as everybody does and everything. So it's really hard. We were talking about this before. It's really hard to leave what I have now. But
yeah, security.
And then at the end of the day too, though, here in my area in Savannah, Georgia, there isn't the biggest market in the world for color change.
Right. So you're tapping into a unterritoried section of the market.
Yeah. So, you have your PPF, and I don't know how I'm going to do with that either, because we have one shop here that's all they do is PPF, and they have all the certifications. Right. So I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get into PPF in this area.
Right. Because they have such a shareholder market type of thing, and
yeah, they are the market here.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, going back to being fair with having an installer, I would say square footage would be a good start. As a business owner, I think you get to notice more of how long things should take, and maybe you do it as a per job or vehicle price. Like, let's just say, okay, I don't know, a Porsche, okay, you do it by per square foot. Well, okay, that might work because it's going to take a lot of time to wrap a Porsche. You got the round, front fenders. That takes a lot of time. You got to be precise.
Yeah, and I probably wouldn't leave him hanging in the wind on a bumper either, because there's a quality factor too. So I might help him lay the film on the harder panels and then let him just do the work.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's a tough question. It really depends on where this installers come from, what type of quality he has, where.
Yeah, his is as far as the local rat name goes, his is one of the ones that I've seen on multiple occasions, and it's pretty damn good.
Yeah. So I mean, I would leave it in his court. How do you want to get paid on these jobs? Do you get paid by the square foot? You get paid by the job. It becomes more of a trust.
Or yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let him answer the question.
He was like, how is it that you're doing the same thing I'm doing, but you're getting all these cars and you're getting all these big jobs? Because he's one of those, like, I charge $1,500 for a car, or, whatever. But he's actually pretty good. He's not putting out shit work.
Just to install it, $1,500, you're saying?
Well, no, that's material and everything.
What?
He's doing like $1,000 wrap jobs, and then this is like side thing for him. He has a regular job too. So he was asking me, he's like, "How is it you're getting these jobs?" And I said, "Honestly, I charge more." Because he said, "Yeah, but no one's going to pay me the money that they're paying you." And I said, "Why not? We're literally doing the same thing. I'm in the garage, you're in the garage." Well, he doesn't have the tools I have, but still, he has skill, right?
Right.
And I just said, "You just charge more, dude." And he was like, "But no one's going to pay me that kind of money." I said, "You're right, but the people that will are the nicer cars."
Right.
Like, that's what it's been for me, and this was talking to other business owners, people even in other industries. It's like, dude, when your quality goes up, you need to be getting paid for your services and your quality. So just raise your price. It's like, yeah, you're going to lose. I don't get no business from the local car people at all.
Yeah, because you know what, they're the ones hustling, working, and you know, they're not going to afford, you know, a $3,500 wrap job. They can't foresee that.
This GTR, this M4, they're local, car club owners, but they're also business owners.
Right.
So,
it's a different market for you. You're pretty much advertising your service to a different category of people.
Well, I don't advertise either.
Well, I'm just saying, like, word of mouth. You're gaining the trust of people that are.
Yes, and that's what it is right there. It's all about the trust.
Right.
So these people, they see my portfolio. They see the other people's cars. They see that I take these cars apart. Like some people are mind blown when I send them a picture. Hey, you want to see a progress pic? And they're like, yeah. And it's their car looking like a skeleton. They're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Why is that all apart? Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. But, and then when the end product comes and it's all about that customer reaction.
Right.
And just like making their dreams come true. It's
100%.
a crazy feeling.
100%. Mm-hmm. That shit never gets old, man.
Yeah, it's the best.
It is the best. And you know what? I want to say, like, your quality's got to be there and your pricing's got to be there. And I think at this point, what you're doing is you're basing your quality with your precise pricing. I mean, you're charging more, which is good. I mean, you should be charging more. Why should you be charging less just because you don't have that overhead?
I'm fairly confident, and I don't know this for sure because there's an actual tint shop that does wraps too, and they've done some high end cars too. But I'm fairly confident that I'm the most expensive person in Savannah.
It's not bad, dude. To be ahead of the curve, like you are, given that the market hasn't really hit full bloom in your area and you're able to, like, kind of capitalize on that, fucking do it, dude. You know what I mean? It just sucks that you're held back. You know, some people, when they're held back on, maybe I should choose my words wisely, but, like, not as of a crazy job like you have. You know what I mean? Like, to think like...
You're talking about the time. I'm held back by my time.
Well, yeah, you're held back by your time because
I'm not doing this full time.
Right. And some of us are either work somewhere as, like, a parts store, or some people do other services where the pay's okay, but they make a lot more money doing the wraps, but they can't justify quitting their 9-to-5 in the security blanket job to go pursue a vehicle wrap. You're kind of like in a weird predicament where you've got a fucking awesome career already. You know what I mean? And you're still doing this shit on the side. Like, if that isn't a testament to, like, your ambition, your kind of drive to...
It's the passion.
Yeah.
That's what I like to say.
Yeah,
there's a passion to it.
It's so different because you have a passionate feeling about cars and then you have a passionate feeling about aviation. You know what I mean? So it's like, when you can kind of do both things that you love, it's a fucking win-win, but it is going to come to a point. You know it. It's going to come to a point where you're going to be like, well, what am I going to do?
It takes a toll, man, because for one, we discussed this earlier before we started the podcast. I don't sleep a whole lot.
Right. You can only do that so much. You're burning the candlestick, both sides.
Yeah, because I'm doing this, and I tell customers I don't work on Sundays. Yeah. Right? But I do. Right. I'm in there every Sunday. Yeah. I just say that so, like, man, like, I need a break, and, like, I've never really had this, but, you know, I don't want customers to be like, when am I getting my car back in on a Sunday? Right. I've never had that, though. But I always feel like I have the car and I'm not doing nothing. Why not work on it? Mm. But then, you have to rest, too. You need to rest. Well, not even just that. You need time for yourself, man. You need to decompress. Yeah. You need to do other things. You need to, you know, given that you're in, so your area that you're in a complex, you know what I mean? You've got your own, you know, rented garage that you pay for a vehicle. Yep. Let's say. Yeah, I have 3 garages I rent.
Okay, shit. So 3 garages, okay.
Well, I got to store the cam hole wrap somewhere.
Right. Exactly. So you've got the garages, you know what I mean? You're paying somewhat of rent to have this location, but the bad area of all this is that literally you walk downstairs and you're at work. Work isn't 2 miles
There's
down the road.
Convenience too. I mean, there's some things I got to be careful with. We talked about this earlier, but one of the conveniences too, there's the on-site car wash, which is right next to my garage. So I mean, I'm like set up.
Yeah, you're all set.
I mean, there's some. I'm set up, and I have vacuums, I have air compressors, I have everything I need. So.
And nobody bothers you?
No, not at all. I don't make noise. I try not to make no noise. Everybody knows what I'm doing now, man. The cars I've had Maseratis come through here. I've had 3 GTRs, an R32. I'm possibly wrapping another R32.
What is Kris doing in there?
Yeah, the ZR1 with the Lingenfelter supercharged. That was like $100,000 car. Crazy. And
it's you're doing this where you're doing it, you know what I mean? And none of the clients give a shit because they know they're going to get quality work.
Yes.
That's what it's about, dude. Right there. That's what it's about. You know, when I had started, I had a turning point where not so much I had the clientele. I always had the clientele, but it was always the, how can I put it? Like, the comfort zone. When you're bringing a client through your house, through your kitchen, through your bedroom to get to your fucking side hustle.
No, I don't do that.
But I'm saying
I meet them at the garage.
But that's what I'm saying. What I was doing, man, I was bringing clients through my home where I sleep at night to get into my little side hustle, like porch area that I was doing all my graphics out of and all that. Like, you get to a point where you're like, all right, I think it's time to get a shop because I can't continue to do this. Sit down with a client for an hour.
Because one of the things too, and here's a story. This happened just today. I didn't mention this to you, but I had a meeting with a dealership earlier today, and they were a little bit put off by the fact I didn't have a shop.
Right. Yeah, you're gonna get that.
Insurance purposes and stuff like that. And I've had a couple clients worry about insurance, but the biggest thing is the professionalism. Like I said, a lot of times I'm meeting clients right off work, so they see me all dressed up. I got my professional face on, what I like to say. My mannerisms and language is a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
They see the portfolio of all the other cars I've done, and you build that trust.
Right. 100%.
Yeah. So I'm keeping it going. I had the opportunity to wrap up Gallardo once, but I painfully had to turn it down.
Ooh.
Yeah, he was like an Amazon executive or something. He was like some kid that was going to work for Amazon in Seattle, and he was like, I'm putting the car in the shipping container in 3 weeks, and I want it wrapped now. And I'm just like, bro. And I had to tell him no. I'm like, maybe I can do it. But if I mess up one little thing, I've never, it's not about the wrap, because the wrap looks easy, but it's about assembling the car.
Yeah.
On something like that, you have to take your time. And I'm like, I'm not going to rush this job, break something, and be liable for a $2,000 freaking blinker or something stupid like that. Like, I don't know how much.
Yeah, you're about right. A mirror probably costs like 10 grand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. Now I'm fully confident I can do it, but I'm not going to do it on a rush. And I told the guy, I'm like, dude, what do you think? Is a young guy. He was doing. I'm like, what are you thinking? You're going to have me wrap your car. Let's say I do a great job. It's probably going to get damaged and shit.
Right.
So why bother?
Yeah,
it sucked though, man. I had to turn that down because I was just like, oh man, a Lamborghini. Like, you want to have those cars in your portfolio.
Oh, hell yeah. Eye candy, man.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, a GTR, just as good. A fucking Corvette, just as good. You know what I mean? You've got a pretty stacked, group of cars that you've done already, given, where you're doing it and how you're doing it and all that, like, you got a pretty good portfolio of cars. My only concern is, like, how do you get away or how do you get around the whole insurance thing if someone asks you, like, hey, I'm leaving my car here. How do I know the shit's going to be safe?
Because I get asked that all the time. It is a keyed garage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a secure garage. I mean, that's the only thing. The biggest concern people have is, like, I'm not driving it, obviously.
Right.
And I'm not having it parked outside.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no, it's always going to be in a garage.
Right.
So, when you're talking about insurance, we're talking about, like, if something catastrophic happens. And I know, there's probably a lot of people who listen to this podcast and like, this dude is tripping wrapping these cars without proper insurance. And I really don't have an excuse for that. It's the only thing I can say is I'm confident in my ability after 19 years of taking apart and putting back together multi-million-dollar airplanes.
Mm. Yeah, I think you had a lot more to worry about back then than you do now. I mean, multi-million-dollar airplanes and, people's lives are basically at risk if you're not, you cross a wire, you do something wrong, it's no joke. You're dealing with people's lives.
And, I've broken some stuff and I paid for it. So, I'll tell this story too, may as well. I mean, the gray GTR that I just wrapped, you saw the pictures on Instagram, right? Really cool professional photo shoot I had done. He let me drive the car down to do that. Really cool dude. He's like, yeah, go ahead, take it. I trust you. On the way out of that parking structure, I smashed that car fiber splitter.
The front? Oh, my God.
I'll show you the picture after this. Smash. Right after the photo shoot. And, I had to pay $1,000 to replace that.
Oof.
For a loose leaf, taper thin in thickness piece of carbon fiber.
Wow.
Yeah.
Honesty is the best policy.
No, I stopped what I was doing, called him right away, and he's really cool about it. He was just like, "Hey, tell you what," I told him, I said, "Dude, if you," because I was still waiting for the remaining balance, so it was like, if this cost the remaining balance, so be it. He was really awesome. He was like, "Look, I'm not going to do that to you. You put a lot of hours. I must have had like 60 man hours in that car with the jams and the trunk and everything. It's an insane amount of man hours I put in that, me and my dad."
Wow.
And he's like, "I'm not going to have you lose all that money." He was like, "Look, the splitter was messed up anyway. Just install the new one when I get it."
Wow.
And I said, "Done." And, I did pay for it. It was like $1,400 or $1,200, and I paid $1,000 of it to cover the rest.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a tough pill.
Shit like that happens, man.
Yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow, but you know what? He's coming back to get more wraps done. He trusts you. It is what it is.
M4 is his. He's the president of the club. The M4 is the VP of the club.
Wow.
I'm not driving that one.
Yeah. No more cars with splitters, please. You can come pick it up.
I'm installing a whole carbon piece on that one too. I'll probably end up doing another video shoot with that one.
Damn. Yeah, dude, that M4, right? The red KPMF you're doing, you've been sending me some photos of. Bro, insane. Like, doors off, full jams. Like, you're going to town on this beast, man.
Yeah.
It's
I've
looking
been showing
good.
You the pictures.
It's looking good, man. Like, it's insane. The color's beautiful, dude, by the way.
It is. I was really surprised by the finish. So it's coming along. He told me to take all the time I needed because he doesn't even want to. If I gave it back to him tomorrow, he's not even going to drive it because he's having some custom forged wheels made. Those take 6 to 8 weeks to get built. So,
wow.
And then he's they're getting these cars ready for this year's show season. They're dumping tons of money into these cars this year. We're talking performance parts, tunes, forged wheels, wraps. He's doing the works on this thing. So He's just like, this is just the beginning. I'm not even debuting this car, so everything's 100% done. So he's like, I don't care if he takes 6 weeks.
Wow. Yeah,
Not that I want to have his car for 6 weeks in my garage, but I'm also going to this XPEL training for a week, so.
Yeah, and you want to get some more cars in there.
Right. I'll be on it all day today, tomorrow and Saturday, and then I'm leaving Sunday, and then I'll probably wrap it up the following weekend.
What do you got left on it?
Front end, whole passenger side, including jams, front jams are done, driver's side fender. I just got to do gotta remove the door on the driver's side, do the jams there, quarter jams, and the rear bumper and trunk. I gotta do the under trunk still. I did the trunk jams, I still gotta do the under trunk.
Wow.
Yeah, that one, it looks like it's going to be a little bit harder than the GTR. That's a hard 90-degree turn under there. But, I mean, I'll make it happen. I might have to do a small inlay or something in there.
Yeah, inlay, small techniques, some test pieces. See how it's definitely
going to be. It's definitely going to have to be some smart techniques. Because when it comes to the inlays, you know, I try to pride myself on not showing the lines.
Right.
That GTR driver door, I did both doors in 2 different ways to experiment. But that driver door is done something like 14 pieces, something like that. You can't see a single seam.
Holy shit. 14 pieces.
Yeah, it's not worth it to kill yourself.
No.
To try to do everything in one piece. I did that with the Mini Cooper. It sucked.
Yeah.
I ended up pulling one piece and just doing it in a couple pieces. And that was like the lesson I learned to do the GTR and the M4. The M4, though, way easier. I did the door jam, I think, in like 3 pieces. 4 pieces. Including that front hinge that no one's ever going to see, and I still wrap.
It's attention to detail, man. Even the shit,
yeah. Well,
even the shit people don't see.
I don't want to see the factory color anywhere.
Oh
you gotta
my
do it.
God, dude.
Yeah, even the hinges are done. So when they open the door, the hinges are going to be red.
Attention to detail. If that car doesn't get you more work, like there's something wrong.
Yeah.
You know, that's crazy. So, you know, we're getting past that 2-hour, you know, time frame here. This has been crazy talking to you, man. The experience you've had and what you're doing. What I want to end with is, you know, where do you go from here? What's your goals? What's your plans to for the future of Pro Star Vinyl?
I want to get into PTF. I want to, there's a much bigger market for that, and it seems like the profit margins are higher. There's a small place I have my eye on. It's very, very, very small. It's not climate control, but it's a start. It's only like a 20 by 40 space, but I can afford it. So that's probably where I'll end up starting at. The commercial retail in this area, and I'm new to this, man. They want a lot of money. It's like, holy crap. And then this triple net stuff, like, Jesus, I had no idea. But, you know, we'll see.
Yeah, man.
And that's where I'm going. I'm still keeping things low key, still keeping things word of mouth. For now, I think it's best. Yeah. It's working out.
Yeah, I mean, you're pumping out some great work, and you're dealing with high-end cars, and like I said, the best source of advertisement is your last client. You know what I mean? They're the ones. They're the ones that are going to be out there and doing the legwork for you and promoting.
I'm still learning every day. You know, and that's something for the people that are listening and trying to get into this. You know, like Justin Pate says, never stop learning. I'm on the Rap Institute. He posted videos every week now, so every week I watch the videos.
Right.
You got the archives. You can go back and look at the stuff. You know, so I'm always trying to learn those new techniques. I feel for this area, it gives me an edge. I can't speak for other people that are doing raps in this area, but you know, like I said, I'm on there. I'm thinking about going back to the certification again this year, but the schedule has to line up, and those spots fill up quick. So I got to try to find some place I can get to. I'm hoping I can do it at Jim Miller's, but I think his spots are filled up for the year. At least the first half of the year.
It could be. That's a popular spot to go for training.
Yeah.
But either way, the training class is still same criteria. you know, it'd be nice to get in with, you know, one of those types of, you know, shops like a Jim Miller shop or another 201.
Well, it's driving distance. That's the biggest thing. 201 is closer than Jim Miller's. It's 2 hours. Jim Miller's is like 3.5. But I mean, anything past that, I'm gonna have to take plane tickets and all sorts of vacation and stuff.
Yeah, where you can drive to and from. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. When I did my training at 201, I drove back and forth every day.
Damn. How many hours was that? 2?
2.
Wow.
It wasn't bad. It was just that at the end of the 2-day training, I was at rush hour in downtown Jacksonville. That kind of sucked, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah. You drive stick?
No, the Maxima, no. The Mini Cooper, yeah. I didn't have the Mini Cooper at that time.
Oh, good. Yeah. Nothing worse than sitting in fucking traffic in a stick car. Whew.
Yeah.
And then you're working all day, and then you're sitting in the car trying to get your ass home. All you want to do is put it in drive and go.
Well, that was back when they were doing the training on weekends. They don't do the training on weekends anymore no more, which is weird. You look at the schedule, it's always like a Monday through Wednesday. And I'm like, God, I have to take vacation in order to get this done.
Right. Yeah. Weekends are tough because you're putting out a shop for the weekend, which, you know, typically a lot of shops try not. I mean, I know Justin tries to focus more on, you know, get home by 5, don't work on the weekends, you know, all that jazz. It's just, you need to set those expectations in the beginning, because once you fall into the gap of working every weekend, working on Sundays, it's tough to get your mindset off of that again. It's like learning a bad technique. You know how long it's going to take you to learn it the right way because you've been doing it the wrong way for so long?
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy, but you need to set those expectations.
You get those people that don't want to learn, like those, my cup is all full type of people.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like that though too. You know, you can only fit so much in your brain. You can only learn so much. You've got to make room for other things, you know, so you have to kind of prioritize on what you want to keep in the front of your head, you know what I mean, going every day, and what you kind of want to shove down and get rid of in the back. It's just more storage, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this has been fucking awesome. Is there anything that you want to bring up or talk about, you know, given that you kind of bring a different aspect of the business to light than our general, you know, guests that come on?
Yeah, I would say, I would gear this more towards the people starting out. I mean, you've had so many industry leaders on here on this podcast. I wouldn't even consider myself like in that realm, but for the people starting out, you know, focus on your techniques. I'd highly recommend the Rap Institute. I would highly recommend getting the right tools for the job. You know, air compressor is your friend. You know, IR heater is good to get if you can afford it. A pod seamer, especially, is good to get if you can afford it. Helps with installs and removals. Just, you know, just the tools, man. Having the right tools and having the wherewithal to go look up before you start tearing into a car. Take the time to look up how to do it properly. You know, plan ahead with this stuff, because, you know, you're trying to get your name out there. You're starting Joe Schmo in your garage, and you break someone's GTR carbon fiber slitter. They might not be too happy about
it. I say you take that from experience.
Yeah, I mean, I got lucky with him, and him being who he is and the cool person that he is, but it could have went a completely different way.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
As far as on your corners, focus on your adhesive lines, discoloration, no corners. I mean, no peeling, no bubbling, no discoloration, no adhesive lines. That's the goal. Make it look like it came from the dealership that way.
I like that. Great advice, man. I think everyone should strive for that type of quality and workmanship, and, you know, moving forward, whether you're doing it in your garage or you got a full-fledged facility.
Yeah, that's my advice, man. I try to keep it there. There's nothing that I said that these experienced guys that come on your podcast probably don't already know, aside from my personal stuff. But for the new people that might happen to listen to this, it really helps to get the right tools. You know, look at all these companies like Yellow Tools and Auto Skins and all that are making all these cool new tools. You know, to pay attention to that stuff, and if you can't afford it, just, you know, save up. Like you said, reinvest. You know, when you get these jobs and you're making some money, just reinvest.
Yeah, 100%, man. It's the only way to make it for the long term, you know?
Yeah, because, like I said, I just got the lift. I'm about to buy a new toolbox. I'm going to get a really big rollaway. The next thing I want to get is a handheld IR heater. The ones that Metro Rats uses, and things are badass. I want one so bad.
The IR heaters, they are, but they're a really great tool, man.
Yeah, I mean, it is. You just got to expand the repertoire. Being with like, you start out with a heat gun and a squeegee and a blade, but you have to, if you're serious about this, you have to start taking into consideration the other tools of the trade.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And then learn new techniques. You know, I didn't learn cold pre-stretch until like my 5th or 6th rat. And now they got things like 3D pre-stretch and all this other stuff. It's like, what?
What is that?
Yeah.
Google
I practiced 3D pre-stretch on my brother's door mirror, and this technique is amazing.
There's a lot of different ways to do one particular thing. You just have to find out like what you're comfortable.
Yeah, and another tip too is themes. Don't be afraid to, if you do the themes right, you'll never see them.
Right, 100%.
Yeah, I showed you the pictures of the M4 and that funky freaking bumper them things have.
Yep.
You don't see any theme on there except the one that's common with those wraps, and that's getting covered with a carbon fiber piece that I'm installing later. So, I mean, it's going to look like a seamless bumper.
But that's the only way you can do that bumper is with
it's
seams.
The only way.
Yeah, I mean, it's 3 seams on that left inside kind of panel with like a fog light would go. You have to seam that 3 ways. There's no, you're not pushing vinyl in there. That's just not happening.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's just
so just don't be afraid. I mean, I've seen people do the door handles with seams, but I was able to do those in one piece.
Yeah, because those door handles are they're like
tall.
Yeah,
and they have a tall 90-degree shape. But I mean, I was able to do it with the KPMS. I got lucky there.
Well, you only had 2 to do, not 4. So
yeah,
you got lucky.
Yeah.
What'd you use on that? Did you like pre-stretch it? Cold stretch it?
Yeah, of course.
Shrunk it back down. Yeah, that's the only way you can do those types of door handles in that style is cold stretch it, let the heat be your friend and suck it in.
Yeah.
You know, and then just get rid of the technology, you know, post heat it, get that shit nice and warm. And that's when the IR heater can help you with big panels too. Like you can post heat with that.
Yeah, one of the easiest panels because the KTMF, the most difficult panel I've had to do so far has been the hood.
I believe
because it's so big and it's flat.
Yeah.
But the easiest panel that I've had to do was the bumper, the main piece, because it had the IR heater and it was vertical. You know, I don't have a bumper stand. I do my bumpers on the car.
Yeah.
So with the IR heater, being able to heat the whole panel vertically, it made the install a breeze. It was just been the easiest panel so far. After doing all the themes, I still got a bunch of hours in that bumper. But I mean, the main wrap itself wasn't bad at all.
Yeah.
I had a lot of trouble with the hood and the rear quarter.
Wow.
Just pulling the paper in the rear quarter in a confined area was a pain in the ass. Well, we got it done.
That's it, man.
Clean.
That's it.
So this car is going to be sick when it comes out. I mean, I'm probably going to schedule another photo shoot with that one, but the video shoot won't come for a while. Probably not till late spring.
Well, the wheels are in and things all decked out.
He's not. Once he gets his car back, I'm not going to see it again probably till the late spring, possibly even summer.
Damn.
He's doing a whole bunch of stuff to it. He's dropping a crap ton of money into it. And no matter how much money you have, time's still a factor. Like I just bought this Liberty Walk kit. I got to wait a month for it to get here from Japan.
Damn.
Yeah, import parts, overnight parts in Japan, my ass. Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Right?
What are you getting a Liberty Walk for? The Maxima?
The Mini Cooper.
The Mini Cooper.
Yeah. It's down in Florida right now getting the full show trunk build done. Air suspension, sundown fucking system, the works, painted, multiple tanks set up.
Wow.
Yeah, and that thing, I'm putting the work into that one. Because the Maxima, you can't do no performance to it. You know, you can't put aftermarket turbos and all that other shit, but the Mini Cooper, you can. You can do a full build in the Mini Cooper.
Right.
The Maxima, I'm done with that. And that one has a show trunk set up, hard lines and all that stuff. But I'm just going to change wraps on that now. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done with it.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be your sales car. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So.
Mm-hmm.
Changing
and
that up.
I've wrapped it so many times now. You know, I got every freaking nook and cranny down. And I do the wraps on these fast.
Yeah, now you can do it in your sleep, you know?
Yeah.
Cool, man. All right. We're going to wrap it up. Is there any last words?
Well, I appreciate you having me on the show. I was really surprised that you gave a little guy like me a shot on the show. So thank you very much for that.
Dude, come on, stop. You're doing great work. And like I've said on the show numerous times, you know, 1 year in, 6 months in, 20 years in, I want to talk to everybody because at the end of the day, everyone's got a story. Everyone has to start somewhere. And this is a great platform where, you know, in a year or two, when you have your shop, you know what I mean? And you have an employee and you're killing it and still got your full-time job, you can sit back and be like, oh, remember that time I was on the podcast? And go back and listen to it and just be like, yo, I came a long way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, hopefully that happens.
It will.
That'd be sick.
It will. You've got the passion for it and you've got the drive to move forward. It's just now you have to figure out your time. Time is the only thing working against you is your time that you have with your full time and the time you put in towards the
that's why I
industry.
try to focus on efficiency, basically, with my installs, doing things in the proper order.
But you'll get it. We all did it. We've all been there. You'll get it. You'll find a good system and figure it all out. Trial and error, man.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Cool, dude. Well, let everybody know where they can find you and check out some of your work, man.
Yeah, so I'm on Facebook, ProStar Vinyl, Instagram, ProStar Vinyl. I had a website, ProStarVinyl.com, but I didn't, you know, me being so small time, I didn't really manage it well. I technically still own it. But I think it's taken down right now. When I do open a shop, I'll go all in with the website. I'll probably hire like a graphic web design person or something like that. But yeah, so basically I'm just strictly social media right now. IG, Facebook, ProStar Vinyl.
Cool. Well, dude, I wish you well for the rest of 2019, bro.
Thank you.
What's up, folks? Hope everyone enjoyed this episode. Thank you to everyone that tuned in, and thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to IBOW Training, offering a variety of training options such as training at your shop, group training classes nationwide, and even private design print profile training through remote login. Learn more about IBOW at ibowtraining.com. Thank you also to We Print Wraps, the industry's #1 source for wholesale printed wraps, offering free nationwide shipping across the U.S. and Canada on all orders over $500. And don't forget, exclusive listeners of this podcast save 5% on your next order when you use promo code all wrapped up at checkout. See why industry pros love them and visit WePrintWraps.com. Till next time, folks, that's a wrap.